it seems like their group is a competitive one. GE might be making an argument otherwise with their first game, but I think we all know the caliber of the players they have, and will look to come into that lower bracket map competitive.
All gamers are starting to posture for this retake. The door already open. It'll swing again, but before that, Boo's going to be swung on by Kira. Now they'll up the pace towards this site. Vice wall in play. We're going to see the Thorns put out to block that north side approach. Big spray by Shrimp. He's found himself two as a showstopper comes online for Woot. A third in this round, and the nade buys that little bit more time. Shrimp under pressure, that time ticking. He has to find them, and they can play Ring-a-Ring-a-Rosie or just take him down. 8-7 now. Team Heretics in the lead.
Yeah, a huge bonus round victory, and more importantly, Woot getting those additional kills, allowing him to get the showstopper. Puts him in a position where they were able to convert a bonus round and continue to build momentum. That's the biggest thing. Because it looked like they were screwed. I'll be honest, you had 4 players at the back of that site get hit by a paranoia, and then 3 of them get seized in the corner. I thought they were dead to rights. There shouldn't have been any way out of that round, but as you can see, the confidence building, the pressure starting to mount. For all gamers, what was a previous map of all laughs and smiles, their opponent's map choice slipping from Heretics' fingers, they now sit there with their lead diminished to a point where they're behind. They need to step up on this defensive side because, well, basically what I'm trying to say is that could have been a very winnable round for them. I think their utility was well placed. It was just the shots that didn't land.
Always going to be a bump in the road here and there. Heretics only 1 round in the lead. The timeout just coming to a close. Let's take a look at where they're at economically for all gamers. It's certainly not going to be a pretty purchase. And the opportunities here for Koshmaris to run wild with that outlaw. Right off rip, he's going to be looking for a battle. Let's say. But I do think in this round, like, for all gamers, I expect to see aggression out of them. So I like what this is on C. They're just pumping the brakes, made a lot of presence on A, and then decide to burst out of the smoke with the flash. The problem is Heretics are being so cautious. They're sitting back in their spawn, waiting for an aggressive stance. And the only thing that could play against them is that position from Boo, but the paranoia has caused issues for the man that's in that corner. Made this look like a pretty easy round. Okay, with Kira down, that was the main danger. The Guardian gone. Only Fangir left to deal with.
Yeah, a little bit of additional damage, and especially considering Heretics pushed into the stack-up of players, they managed to clean that relatively easy. I also want to point out, I feel like Woot was like 3-9 or something like that. Like, he was down the bottom of the scoreboard. I think it was only Boo that was below him. He's now 11-10. So already in this second half, we are seeing that superstar duelist start to rise back up to the spot we know he can. Oh, Koshmaris able to close out the round. Lead extended. I'll be honest, after the start they had, it's not something I necessarily expected to see from Heretics, but it does seem like those few individual brilliant rounds, especially from Rienz. I don't know what it is, but I feel like whenever Rienz pulls off a round, it's always so impressive that it just gets everybody mega hyped, no matter how they're performing on that side. He's also a player I don't feel like I've ever seen mentally boomed.
I like that. I like the replay angle there. I'm just realizing that GRQ is so distracted by Boo that he didn't even turn to get the kill on Woot. Didn't hear it because of the paranoias. I was waiting for his shot to land in the back of his head, but it never came. There's a showstopper online for Kira.
Last cannon up as well.
This is probably the round that you do want to send it in. And again, that means Team Heretics want to be cautious early on. You make noise, you group up. They get a whiff of it, there's going to be a rocket coming your way.
This is something Heretics do quite regularly. They go wall hunting. They like to just remove that piece of utility, and it forces rotations. I just look already, like GRQ has had to go all the way back to the C site just to try and help out. They don't have any intentions of going in that direction. Now, it does force them in towards the operator, but we're also seeing attack side pings on the exact position that Fangir is holding. It's just whether or not he can get one and get out. Now, bear in mind, as said, he doesn't have any shields to play with. And he's already been smoked off the angle. This leaves the A site completely open. Now, of course, if you're Heretics, you can't know it's completely open, but you probably think you've pulled a rotation or two.
I certainly hope they don't think it's completely open, because it's not anymore.
They do.
The op's going to be forced
Bro,
back.
you didn't make it out. You didn't make it out.
Paying off. The plant will be found, but look at this position from Rienz. I don't want to see him go any further than that, but he gets up close to the showstopper, gets popped. Now he can't see a damn thing, and Woot rips Kira out of the round. Great response from Heretics.
Yeah, good counter utility. I think there was a haunt in there as well that revealed him while flying through the air, so while being blinded, just gets decimated. It's a good start, but more is needed, and wow, it's a whiff or two, and Bai does a lot of damage, gives them an advantage, and Fangir extends it. It's left all onto Boo.
Bro, if Boo wins this, I'm up.
Nightfall the other way. They don't expect him to still be in this corner, hiding in those ratty positions. A man who's had a rough game so far, but he spots that he's on that defusal. Now just needing a singular shot. And it might have been a quiet game from Boo, but if he's winning you rounds, who gives a damn?
A masterful play. The second that you saw the Nightfall go out, he realizes, well, they're going to put the pieces together in a couple seconds. I need to take this kill. And pounces right in the nick of time. Great use as well of his TP to jump out and check. Oh, he is defusing it. And then he baits him with a shot. Just a single shot, hides back behind the wall, and knows there's no way he'll have the gall to stick it. 10-7 now for Boo. He was on 3 kills. That pushed him up to 5. But most importantly, it pushed Heretics up to double digits.
Yeah, it's about keeping that momentum going. The second there's a break, that's the moment where all gamers start to realize, okay, we're back in the game. We're only a round behind. Instead, that difference is up to 3. An aggressive stance. It's a shame because the paranoia was good, but it didn't seem to matter too much. Woot has gone from being executed to the executioner. He's stolen that blade and is cutting off the head of all gamers. And well, now there's only one gamer left.
The worst part is for Woot being the person that gets all of those kills in this round. All gamers go into the next round with a full buy. And Woot goes into the next with a showstopper because he's built up all of those orbs. Now we've got a problem. And more than one problem, that's for sure. Heretics are activated again. We saw it at the start of the series. And a few flashes in the pan here and there, but they have been missing for a while. It seemed as an assured, a guarantee that we were going to go 2-1 in favor of all gamers, that this map was going to continue to spiral out of control, and yet they have turned it around. Swapping halves has seen them win 6 rounds in a row. Just 2 more to close this out.
They've been able to shut down everything that's been thrown at them as well. The operator wasn't a surprise. Defensive aggression hasn't worked. They've been patient, and Woot has been hitting all the way through this attack side half. You can see it. No wall spotted. So now they go looking elsewhere. They just want to put doubt into the minds of all gamers. This time they'd have to pressure in towards the B side. Although you can see there's a ping there, so maybe even that's going to be the next check. It might not matter, though, because the wall becomes irrelevant quite quickly once you lose your vice.
Fangir's very lucky he didn't swing deeper into that angle. They were ready and waiting. 3 players staring at him. That was a huge mistake. That's what he didn't notice on the first swing. Good job from Kira. Koshmaris is a big scalp to take here, and he'll run away after burning up the paranoia from the other side. Flank around by GRQ.
That's huge.
And Rienz, pixel perfect on the shot. Showstopper can't even land in time, and Shrimp is gone. This was the full buy for AGAL, and it is all gone downhill. 7 in a row now for Heretics, unless Kira is about to pull out. A very impressive play.
Kira's had moments, but none quite like this just yet.
They need the money.
They need whatever they can get at this stage, and you can already see that the hunt is on. Arians is actually going to box Kira into position. There really is nowhere left to go. Can he hold on to the gun? That's a nice shot. but doesn't know where the other players are currently coming from. In fact, Benji's going all the way around just to try and catch him if he tries to go back towards the spawn. The safest place is B, and it's definitely not walking into Woot. The disparity between his first half and second half is going to be an absolute landslide. The fact that he's currently not just positive, but I think either 1 or 2 kills away from being the top of the board makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, considering where we started, this whole series has been like that, though. I feel like no performance can keep up from half
strong
to
start,
half.
Strong finish.
Yeah, yeah. But this
Woot
is the thing.
the bookend.
Yeah, no, he's the walls closing in on AG. And at this point, it is starting to feel like an inevitability. But, you know, I said that before, and we ended up 13 to 11.
It'd be a great time for a pause right now, actually. This would be a really good time for all gamers to take a pause.
I feel like the scoreline's too close. At this point, you have to just let it run the distance, you know?
I want to know what inspiring words are coming through from the coaching staff, because whatever it was on map 1, it did work.
Yeah,
it brought them back from 12-5 to, unfortunately, 12-11 and then tasting defeat.
Yeah.
But they did manage to just sort of pick up the pace. And this has felt somewhat similar.
The game looking
felt like in the second.
Fighting towards this A Rebel. Gentlemates, that is. Sheila, they have full Rebel control. All 5 players are here. They're full gambling into this execute. They're tapping that door to set the Prowler out. Sorry, I mean the dog, and the execute's in.
Whoa.
Now, but Gentlemates are very close by. Let's see if Happy Way might be able to sneak his way through into the stairs section. He's hoping for an easy kills here. He'll get nothing. It's Starzo again that just delivers for the team. A triple up. Gives Gentlemates big advantage here, looking like a flawless. No kills at all from XLG, and a 4th one found from Starzo.
That's crazy, because if Starzo actually had an ace, that would have been the 2nd ace we've seen on Lotus today. Zekin getting that first one versus MIVR, but it's okay. It's just a thrifty. You know, we're chilling. This is good. This is good for Gentlemates. They won that 2nd round.
We love aces versus only pistols.
Yes.
Woo! Big ace.
Frags, anyone?
Eco ace.
And now going into this bonus round for Gentlemates, they're looking to fight towards that A Rebel again, possibly another Season 8 combo. There's 4 players here towards that A site.
Look how advanced that Nightfall is coming on through as well.
So for XLG, they switched their comp.
Lots of action taking
They're
place
now double duelists.
In that door.
Usually they had a double senti.
XLG.
But Roger's on the jet, no man's on the raise.
Take place in the 1v1.
Leo's on.
To slow things down, and Raga can't even make
Oh,
his way through.
they're just getting crunched.
And Martin activates around the tree, completely unseen by XLG.
This is insane. This is a completely different.
WS Leo is on the sky instead of the Fade. A lot of people have been playing the Fade. It's because, like, not only the Haunts, the Seas, and the Prowlers.
That no one is getting past it, not allowing them to even get close to getting that spike.
See, if we have, Fade,
really scary for Sheila. Why are you giggling over there?
Because they're just kind of walking through the smoke. If I'm honest, they're just like.
Why are they walking?
If we have Fade, we use our Prowler at least one.
That's so scuffed.
How many of that? Like 2 players at least walked through smoke before the flash even came through. Okay. Sheila begin a little bit aggressive here, not in the good way, as I praised him for that last map, but this time around, kind of reminds me of that shop scenario that we saw on Debris. XLG will be at least taking the same control as last round over.
They have to get rid of the cam.
Once more. Well, this time being a little bit more measured.
Okay, they got rid of the cam. They don't have early rotates.
Slow walk up, trying to get any of these picks, trying to get some numbers.
Now they need the Fade to get off the B line.
But Gentlemates, they're gonna re-walk and re-clear this right here. The smoke's gonna block them from doing that, but they don't care. Going into it, a little bit scary.
Alright, XLG may get caught in transition if they pop.
The smoke fades. XLG will be in quite a bit of trouble there. If
they're just holding the smoke. Okay, if they get this B, if they get the Fade off the line. Jesus, what a pre-fire.
That is Spike on the floor though.
But look, nobody's on the C site here for Gentlemates. They've all stacked towards B. A really fast flank with that door opening, and they're all fighting.
Starso gets stunned on up. Door will close now. They might just look to be able to still sneak into the side, but not quite. Door opens again. Starzo just knocks them all down, and only Raga alive now, who won't be able to do anything. A second flawless in the first
I think
4 rounds.
XLG just needs to be more decisive. They need to say, hey, alright, we're clearing space.
With guns. We'll see if the timeout comes on through yet.
Just fake A, quick rotate to C. It is a eco round, so.
Honestly, at this point,
But juggling Spike as they refight C is not a good look.
For XLG here, it makes a lot of sense because you're struggling. You need to get that first gun round, or second gun round, sorry, under your belt, making sure that you're taking fights really, really well. I think for them, they're probably going to try to find that cipher, try to break some trips, just play the map a little slower, because every single time that they've tried just doing some sort of contact play, it just hasn't worked out. Gentlemates, they've done a good job with the rotates. They've done a good job of getting that info early, but they're still not really being tested with their defensive setup.
Well, we haven't even seen XLG make it a site yet. They've just been kind of...
Damn, it's 6 a.m. for me. Or 7 a.m.
Either locations, and doors have been their problem so far. Maybe a battering ram is what they need to finally get their way on, and the timeout will maybe just provide that psychologically, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for the side of XLG as well to figure out exactly what Gentlemates is doing, because it's not like they're being really obvious with their plays. They're not showing that they're having a trap setup. They're just collapsing based on essentially the information that they're getting very slowly, and they're gambling a lot of the time towards these sites for their defense.
I mean, Starso just sees the cross from pillars and instantly opens the door and just says goodbye.
Sees nade at a C.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even use his ultimate. He might have found
Bro, no one breaks the heart.
As many finds no man. Operator has been located.
Bro, they still got music in the background, bro. What is going on?
Do have a little bit of a push up from Hathaway on the A side of things, but otherwise, so far, Dog in first. Only sees a single player. Even later on, you can imagine if this does come down to a retake, 2 big ultimates potentially online for mates.
With the numbers advantage, Gentlemates,
bro,
not
can
too
someone
scared
turn
to
off the
overrotate.
music?
And the best part is that deep
Jeez.
cipher trip towards that B main. They have so much passive information. They don't even need to this site at all, knowing that right now the only person that can get past it is potentially Jet. So that's why Starzo's sitting there listening. But they have the Nightfall for that retake, not afraid to play it onto that side.
Bro, my Chrome. Why does my Chrome do this to me?
Yet, well, Raga falls super early. Mini wasting no time onto Happy Way as well. This is falling apart quick for XLG. Leo, the only one who was super off-site, now has to do it all. And it's already been covered. Starso leaves nothing on the table. He licks that one clean.
Whatever Starso ate in this short break between maps, I gotta know, because I need that in my life, because he's absolutely fragging out. He's going crazy. And the best part for me is he's just confident in going for a lot of those peaks. He's just taking his ones a lot of the time, or he's just positioned himself so well that he's able to get a lot of those frags. It's really nice to see him. And following up as well with his duelist majority of the time, not necessarily having to do the heavy lifting, but instead having to get that trade in is really nice to see. Now Gentlemates again going towards this A main, fighting for this rubble, not allowing XLG to get as much space as they can. On the other side, Bippo here just spotting that C. Gonna spot it out with that Cypher cam.
Well, it's gonna be a stinger round coming through from an XLG with Raga and Happy Wave saving a little bit more money. Dog coming in on
the Cypher.
Bippo might have to give this one away.
They don't know he has up.
He just doesn't find the
Now
shot.
they do. And he's dead.
Get that down either. There's no man. Nice
if they don't convert this round, it's GG on this map. Oh, they make it caught. They make it caught. Of course.
There is a crossfire here, though. Do they know that Leo is around?
Yo, that reload is kind of clean.
Flash, but no option to get the kill. Finally, it will come
Okay,
through.
good trade.
Trades on that showstopper. 3 versus 3. Already still there for life, so let's
I still don't have guns.
Otherwise, it's still kind of broke here with no man.
Nobody's watching.
Turn things around.
Nobody's watching. Water.
Pull the rocket, maybe. Pull through.
Okay, he grabs his gun.
Gets the kill,
if
but
he grabs the gun.
doesn't have that rocket available now. Raga versus Martin, and Martin says, all me, baby.
Bro's stuck in no man's land.
That was crazy messy for both sides. XLG almost having a really good round. Really sucks for Bippo there, throwing his Cypher Cage, but it bounced so far back while he was blind, he didn't know where it went, so he was just spamming F on the floor and nothing was happening. But that
I
was
think
rough again. Weak side with that
in a
off.
different
See right
scenario,
here.
you probably take that time and pick up a gun.
The Sky Flash
Even if
getting
you're
a
out in the
perfect
open, you
moment. But of course,
grab a
Nini with
gun
really
and
quick
you
follow-up.
most
Martin
likely have
following up with his rocket as well. I think for No Man, he probably
a
should
better
have used that
advantage of
rocket a little
knowing
bit
where
earlier to deny
the enemy
that
is.
retake, because now they're in this position where they could have won it out. They could have done some serious damage, and 2 ults online for XLG.
What was Bro thinking? Because
I know what XLG need. They need Lysor to start getting kills.
At least by this time, Breeze mates had gotten a couple rounds in. XLG still looking for one. Here we go now. This time around, Showstopper will be played. It doesn't do anything, but does clear the site, so minimum value.
Bro, so much damage to his own nade.
Full retake, but No Man, he's not scared. He's pushing through that.
Bro, they know. They already have 4 here. Bro, the collat would have been crazy.
Overdrive in, full flash is a little
3v5.
the kills are decent.
Okay, Lysor.
Second death so far in this entire half through the wall, though. A little bit of damage from
chip.
Lysor. Not too sure that he even realizes that's
2 are
going to happen.
low, really low.
Low HP, but lower HP is Leo and Lysor falling apart now. Only Happy Way, and he's got way too much to do on the other side of the smoke. Is all 4 from Gentlemates, and Happy Way only gets 1.
Again, the rotations. They're so quick on it from Gentlemates. They know exactly what's going on, the pressure when it happens. They were so ready, holding that smoke, not overextending, not trying to fight into that cover. And it just worked out for them. Again, another round here for Gentlemates, and it's starting to run away here. Not a single round for Sheila. This is looking really rough. They had a chance to win this here. That neon stun coming out, denying anyone from falling back from that smoke. And again, the crossfires just weren't it. Everyone, you can see on the site, they're positioning, taking those ones instead of playing close together, playing some sort of crossfire, at least being in tradable positions. But the good thing is, the operator online here.
I mean, even on Breeze, you had still 7 rounds found by Gentlemates. Martin, Starzo, and Bippo still went positive on that map despite everything else. But right now, you have Starzo himself individually more kills than the entirety of XLG.
Another haunt broken.
Stat line that XLG are not happy about.
Or sorry, another haunt that's not broken.
Playing with the door here.
They have a 1-3-1 on defense.
Back in away. He wants to play for the retake. This is going to be the full flood in for XLG very shortly.
Really quick retake here about to happen. They're waiting for that spike to go down, waiting for the rest of their team to get online.
Try P, bro.
The Viper's Pit is going to go down. Starzo getting the first pick onto No Man. That Viper's Pit is their winning condition, trying to play into it and making sure they don't get picked off or spammed.
Okay, here we go. Lysor trying to make the big flank
Bippo's
happen.
there.
Just run into another player, cancels it indeed. Bippo still looking though. 4 versus 3 here. It's the Viper's Pit.
They have no
really
info or
XLG. They need some kills.
No.
So the pit alone isn't going to do enough. Pit falls now, and Lysor can't even capitalize. 4 alive for Gentlemates, and they didn't even need to use ultimates here.
This is insanity. I've never felt more like a fraud than I do right now, saying this map veto has gone the way of Sheila. I really thought this Lotus was going to look different. I thought it was going to be a lot closer of a game.
I bet Sheila feel like more of a fraud right now.
Too far. Okay, too far. 0 rounds.
I'm starting to think maybe they should have played the triple Synthi. I wanted them to do something a bit more normal, but if this is what normal looks like, maybe they got to get abnormal, because they spent so long playing triple sending on this map, they've kind of forgotten how to play double duelist here.
Yeah, it feels rough. Feels like they're just not able to get on the same page at all.
I think he makes a great point.
8
They just look so out of sync, unless they feel like they're better on defender side, but double duelist is usually an attacker side.
Of Gentlemates again, good for retakes or fast bloods.
Martin off the rip.
Okay, good trade. Do we get a trade back? No. Or just letting us. Okay.
We waited for him to come online, and he's got the double up. 2 versus 2.
Winnable.
Interesting snare. Doesn't get caught by the paranoia.
2v2.
No plan yet though. His mates will be patient
I
here.
mean, he takes the
They
timing.
play together in time.
He
Mini
is up.
has at least got a little bit of an angle onto the site, but sees nothing. There's going to be a double entry for the retake for Gentlemates.
Okay, does
3
Raga
HD for
know? He
Prox.
doesn't know. He's not watching.
And Raga
Oh,
in the
I
corner.
think
Now
he
he
knows
knows
now.
Mini's positioning, but he doesn't know if Mini's just there yet. And that is a shot we're looking for.
Oh,
Lysor!
nice trade.
Off angle, doesn't get spotted. And late into the day, we are finally going to get the first round on board for XLG.
We're back on the board, and XLG just knowing that they just had to group up and execute. And it was kind of crazy because mates actually used 2 ults. There it is, the Nightfall and the Rocket, to try to deny that spike going down. They tried to fast flood, but it just didn't work out here. Rarga with that pick was so nice, getting that 3K. That's the main reason why they won that round. And now for Gentlemates back towards the same main. They have these 4 or 5 rifles on lock, and they're just fighting.
Lots of flashes, lots of
Big
util
fights.
coming on through,
Big
and it's no man
fights.
like so that find their kills first.
No
Stars
way.
respond though, 3 versus 3.
Pick
So
2.
it's not going to be feeling
Get
too
2
bad
back.
after this one numbers-wise, but can
Oh,
they get
okay,
halfway
he got
down? So
one.
1 for 1. Earththef's going to reveal Raga, who doesn't get a kill here,
Jesus.
as Leo will get a plant in a 1v2.
Spike planted.
They're gonna know where he
No
is.
flashes and a dog.
Knowing where he planted, and they hear that door, they know exactly where he is.
Okay, he's got a swing, but doesn't have the kill. He should have at least had 1. I mean, you had Prox teleporting an isolated 1v1. If Bippo goes down, there is an opportunity there.
Damn, he saw
Leo
2 in
unfortunately
panic.
doesn't capitalize. So what small amount of victory you had there for XLG in the previous round slips away instantly.
Gentlemates not letting it affect them at all, changing up their defensive setup so often that Sheila, they're struggling to figure out how to kind of play against it. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see XLG go back towards that B main, because that's literally the only round that they found success in, or at least put pressure towards A main. Once they hear those nades, once they hear that the stack is actually there, the strong side, that they can go back. I say that, but they're starting towards this A once again. They just need to slow it down just a tiny bit. It's so obvious where Gentlemates are
Another
fighting
A
every single
fight.
time. And Martine's gonna get that first pick onto Rarga. Prox with a pick onto Lysor, and now this is a bloodbath. Mini Martine getting picks to drop Leo. Martine with a 3K to end that round.
They just want to run it back again. XLG constantly 2 rounds in a row. Major aggression put over towards Rebel side. I think they're just assuming that surely there wouldn't be this level of response defensively 2 times in a row, but not a single player from XLG able to really get into a good position. Leo and Hathaway, as mentioned, managed to find a kill, but they just didn't get off the mark here.
It's just crazy to me that Sheila just haven't figured out now the weak side strat. They haven't figured out that most of the time, if they're fighting towards that A main, that they have so many players there, and now 3 players actually from Gentlemates.
They're
This
gonna
is what I was
pop out
talking
of
about
C.
in terms of changing their setup.
Okay, well that's going to be the trip gun at least. Waiting for the paint shells.
An attempt of a
Note the
C
lack of
trap.
equipment on the side of XLG. It's
They just
Hathaway
didn't
that actually
commit to
has
a
the
fight.
only rifle on board. XLG just going to commit to this one. No man would like to find a lock here, but he's taking damage from the boombot as Leo already falls. Still don't have a kill coming through just yet from that showstopper, but Starso is just making it hurt for XLG currently. 3 versus 4 spike on the floor. Hathaway trying to dance with Starso across the doorway, but the doors have been such a problem so far. It's all done. No man, no teammates, no chance. And no round to be found here with just a stinger. It's 3 versus 1 with M8 looking at 11. XLG basically only going to walk away with a single round on this half. It's heartbreaking.
It is insane.
Okay,
I did not
maybe the
think
other
this map
game
was
has
going to be
started.
this
There is no reason I know that.
Okay, maybe I
to it with a game plan, but they're just not able to execute, because every single time
30 seconds
Gentlemates, they have the right read. Now No Man not able to do anything against this up-down stack here. The high-low from Martine, and it's just kind of insane now. You're in this halftime. You have to consider what's going wrong. And you look at the scoreboard. It's 20-5 for Starzo. 20-3, I think it was, for Martine. I just missed it there. But that's still insane that these 2 players are just having such a good game. And most of the time when you are watching Starzo and Martine, they're going out together. Martine is in front up and in charge, and Stardo's there to get the trades, using the C's to get the nades down as well, using that haunt at such a good timing to pull the crosshairs up and away. The util usage from Starzo has been insane. Not only that, but obviously he's been fragging out.
The only round that XLG found was on that B site, and in a lot of cases as well, I want to have to say, they'd get quite fortunate that they didn't walk into any trips. There was a pretty heavy Cypher presence in terms of all the util that no one ended up walking into from XLG's POV, and Raga, without that 3K, things would have been pretty rough. In that round that they won, still came down to a 2v2, mind you, so it could have still gone the opposite way, could have still been the 12-0. Most of these rounds, you didn't even see the site for XLG. They couldn't even make their way onto the site for a plant, and the few times they managed to get a plant not on B, very, very well fought retake, ultimates or not, but ultimates being played into, Nightfall, clear everything, play through with Mini on the Neon, and it's all too easy.
It's just the fact that every single time Gentlemates, they're able to fight and gamble the strong side, able to get the deep line every single time, getting the fights, forcing Shilai to go into those scrappy fights. It's crazy how much they're forcing them to play at their pace. If I was Shilai, I would have just slowed down and tried to understand what was going on, making sure we understood and took all the pointers that were kind of given to us by the Gentlemates. The pressure, the util, the nades, everything that's coming out, let them use it, let them expend it, and be able to come back and re-clear. But they just didn't have the patience for that. They just weren't able to. And it felt like every time they moved, they were thinking, well, they're going to fight A again. Let's go towards C. Gentlemates was there. It was really good gambles by Gentlemates, really good setups as well. But it's a new half for Shilai. They literally have to win this pistol to get a shot at this game, and they're trying to fight towards this C long, in order to do it.
Okay, we're going to start things quickly here. Straight away, no man just jumps
they
into
just want to go
his
to
head.
map
Happy
3.
Way's going to be able to respond. Mound is where it will take place.
11-1, they just want to go to map 3.
The smoke will slow things down just a little bit here. Slow is not a word I would use to describe XLG, though typically, particularly on the attacking side, they go for a site, they commit to this one. On the defense, though, things have slowed down quite a bit.
Slow and steady, still walking up, trying to contact back into the C, re-hitting after that 10-second mark, making sure that they're getting the timing down. Starzo, beautiful kill onto
Starzo's just walking on water.
Just on fire.
20 kills in 12 rounds.
You mentioned Martine, and I had Starzo, both showing up big time. Only 2 players left here for XLG. You talk about them needing to win the pistol. Doesn't look like it's happening. 12 about to be found for Gentlemates, and it just might be a 13-1 finish on this Lotus. Going to map 3 in just a while here. Not too long now. There's only 1 more round is required. And if you are the side of Shilai Gaming, there's not enough timeouts in the world to save you from this.
Yeah, this is looking dire. I don't know about this one. It's just so rough. You're going to have to force. You're not going to have the best weapons. Maybe sheriffs, maybe some sort of stinger at best. Luckily, they got that spike down, but it's still just not going to be enough because here they are fighting towards this A, but every single time they've chosen the right side, they've lost the fight.
No man, okay, he's trying to get a forward angle here, but just instantly gets chewed up by Prox, who walks away with 5 HP. Another player to come through into the next star, so Trey's onto Leo. At least XLG get a single play here, but they're not going to get too much more. This is where it all ends, ladies and gentlemen. Only 2 players left alive with nothing to play for. 1 round is all that XLG are going to get because Gentlemates come back with force.
That's insane. Gentlemates 13-1. I think that's the best scoreline we've seen so far in this whole tournament. And it's just been on the fact that Gentlemates, they played so well together. Their defensive side calling was phenomenal, able to rotate, able to get into those places and force the fights onto Shilai. And that's the kind of confidence that I like to see from Gentlemates. It's what I was looking for on Breeze, but they finally brought it back into that Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant stuff coming on through Puckett. I think the 2 players that we both wanted to see step on the Gentlemates, those are the exact 2 plays that actually did it.
Yeah, it's the frosted tips. No, they really don't like you. It's okay. We didn't need to hear your opinion. Because guess what? That was crazy. And I think the next map, it's going to be Haven, right?
Yep.
Both these teams, they've played it. I think this is kind of a 50-50, but based on the momentum here, I'm looking more towards that.
Versus Pacific, it's G2 versus Nongshim Red Force. And big time, it's time to watch your former colleague in Baby Bay, one of the best stories in all of esports, against the team from your region. How you feeling, man?
Where's your heart?
Come on, man.
I love Baby Bear as much as everyone. He was here with us last year.
There's a butt coming.
I know, I feel it.
But
That's crazy.
It's hard for me to root against Pacific. It's what, it's where I'm born and bred. It's where my Valorant career was raised. So I always got to support them a little bit. Those young kids across the stage, they also have an amazing story to them as well. I think they've really been through the ringer. And for me, I would still put them as the underdogs today. But that's where they want to be. So.
That's the story that he has fabricated, right?
No, it's true.
You've been asking me a lot of explanation about, hey, what happened with KC, what has been going on with Heritage Vitality, blah, 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 all this EMEA teams. What is happening with Nongshim, okay?
Okay. Because let me give you the whole history of Nongshim. 2024, their SPG at Ascension. They are probably the greatest team I've ever scrimmed against. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe how fantastic these young kids are. They qualify to Pacific absolutely perfectly, flawlessly. They think that this is an open shut case. They think they're about to go lift trophies. They don't. They have a strugglesome year. They go back to Ascension again. They win it again, and then they hit that form. The Neon gets buffed. Dambi goes crazy with it. You see them run Santiago flawlessly, lifting that trophy, but it's not been smooth sailing. They're back to that turbulence.
It's been
inconsistent since then. So that is that question is, we know they have championship form. We know that they've managed to lift so many trophies now over that time. 2 different Ascensions and the Masters. Can they do it at EWC?
No, Morgan. The question is, what happened? Because you know that I don't. For them to remove Dambi from the Neon. So we're doing this thing that has given us a trophy, and we're so strong, and that would be so incredibly good. A 3-0 final in Chile. They go back and they decide to change. What did you do?
I wish I had nice things to say about this change, because I hated it. They took Dambi, the best Neon in the world. They took him off the Neon. They gave it to Francis, and that's when they started to lose. It's all about enabling Dambi, apparently. Apparently. It's all about enabling Dambi to be free to be able to shoot and not have to be that first man in. But that's where he's at his best. That was during that period of turbulence. But for the EWC qualifiers, they swapped back. Dambi was back on the Neon, so it's not a surprise that they managed to qualify. It's almost like the answer was there all along. You have the best player in the world on Neon. Maybe he should play it, guys.
Listen, we understand the dilemma a little bit, because you want Dambi to be alive for as long as possible, but no one else can do it as good as him when it comes to entry. We also need to talk about G2, the champions for the split of Americas, and that is the title that they've had many times. The problem, it comes with internationals, and especially and specifically speaking about the last one, speaking about London, they just bomb out of the tournament. A loss against Sheila Gaming and another more devastating loss against Foot. We know that they always come back stronger. You look there at the right, we're all smiling looking at Baby Bay's face that of course you were seeing last year sitting with us. But we know all the experience that this roster has. Everybody knows that they're destined for greatness. The question is, when will it start? When is the legend born?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think when people talk about this team, they ask the question, when will they lift the trophy? Not if. It's a predetermined certainty that eventually they'll manage to do it, right? Surely the team this good on paper should lift the trophy, but it doesn't seem to be, appearing. It doesn't matter how much they manifest. Could this be the first one?
Especially given the fact that their opponent across from them promotes up, wins their region, then wins Masters like so much faster.
That is personal, man. It's personal.
Huge storyline there. Because
it's personal.
I think when you have the pressure of constantly being the best in your region, making changes to continue to achieve that, still do it and don't achieve it, all of a sudden that pressure becomes haunting. It becomes that extra battle that you have in your mind, the monkey off your back that you got to get rid of, that G2 are also fighting. And to do that against Nongshim, who've promoted up, they played free. Once they got a little tight, they went back down, and then played free again, promote back up, win, and then win again. I just feel like these are like, G2 could be looking in the mirror like, oh, this could be us.
Yeah. I mean, it very much could
Coulda,
be.
woulda, shoulda.
But that's the problem for me with this G2 roster. It's the story of almost time and time again. You know, cast your mind back to Shanghai. Bangkok is what I'm thinking of, against T1.
What year was that? You need to talk to me in years.
2025.
I've been everywhere.
First Masters 2025.
Yes,
They're
I
in
remember
the
now.
finals against T1, and they should have won it. They should have won it, but they don't. And
But
that's
Pacific on top.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm hinting at, really. But to me, that's the idea, is that it feels like they're so good. They're a team that's good enough to win the trophy, but are they composed enough to win the trophy? That's the big question we ask of them, bringing themselves here to EWC.
When we talk about star power across both these rosters, who jumps out at you, Kukuka?
I mean, I'm here to see if Dambi is actually back on the Neon. I think everybody should be incredibly excited. Yes, there's been the nerves and whatnot, but if other players are making it work, there is no way that Dambi doesn't, right? And for the other side, I want to see that head-to-head against Jogimo. I feel like Jogimo has been a little bit of inconsistent, and I have to say the same about Baby Bay. He didn't have the best of the performances there at London, but it's all about bouncing back, you know, and EWC is the perfect ground to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I think for G2, I gotta talk about Leaf, man. Leaf, one singular Leaf is all it takes.
One singular Leaf.
So this guy, he's rated as one of the top players in the world. Consistently, he's in that discussion. He's in everybody's top 10, but he doesn't have that trophy yet. He's been known to put this team on his back when they really need him the most. So I think I want to see big and consistent performances from him if G2 are going to be able to go the distance.
And what about Nongshim?
Now, I'm taking away Danby. You can't say Danby.
Okay.
So other than Danby,
that's fine.
who
For
else
me,
you got?
It's X-Ross. X-Ross, when they lifted that trophy, he was on that initiator role. He's supporting, but since they've swapped back, moved down beyond to that Neon, it's X-Ross who's playing that secondary duelist. It's him that's on that Phoenix. Now, his career before Nongshim, he was a duelist player. He adapted for them before. If he's able to fill that second man in role beautifully behind Damby, that's when this team gets incredibly scary.
All right, the vetoes are ready as we get ourselves underway here for our final opening match of EWC 2026. And G2, Nongshim going head-to-head. G2 taking Breeze. So Breeze going to be in there. Ascent out. We've seen so much Ascent so far in the tournament.
Guaranteed Sunset.
Getting locked on in here as a second map for Nongshim. Leaving up a couple more. Split still in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know about the previous history of Nongshim on Sunset? Because I honestly don't.
I mean, they were good at it. They were good at it. I mean, you can play Neon on it pretty consistently. Breeze for Nongshim, for me, will be a very, very interesting map because...
Yeah. Ooh, no, this is super interesting.
And a split. Okay.
That's
this is
different from what we've been getting. Yeah. No, Haven, thank you so much for every team that doesn't choose Haven. I love you. Seriously, thank you. I was gonna say, for Breeze, what are we looking for? Harbor v Harbor, and then like Viper Astra. I believe that is like on the mix there. It's going to be complicated, but that makes it even more interesting.
Man, Nongshim on this map in the past, we see them pick Neon and Phoenix so consistently with that Harbor, and they keep winning on it, but I don't know how. I watched a game against Team Secret where they went 12 rounds in a row on attack, and I lost my mind. I couldn't believe it.
Did they win?
They won. That's the thing. It baffles me. So
if the other team has a massive Hollow Knight, pues you will have to go, no?
So it always makes me curious. They love to go back to this map time and time again. I'm curious if G2 might have that read. I think G2, one of the strongest Harbor teams for sure that we've seen coming out of Americas. It's the region that's really managed to perfect it. I think in Breeze, if we do get this Harbor versus Harbor, it's all about the retakes on the defense. It's who's best set up for that. So we do have the Aiden select coming in now, and it's a swap for the side of G2. Doesn't look like there's going to be a Harbor there, but it is an Astra.
It is an Astra. Let's see what Chogimo is going to be doing here as we have to wait for things to settle down. X-Ross, how much do you rate it, especially considering the ones that we've been seeing, like the Phoenixes that we've been seeing?
I like X-Ross on this Phoenix. I think he's good on this role. I think he's a great fit for it. This is the way I wish they would have gone in the past. It does look like Damby's going to be sticking with that Neon, which is what we love to see. Thank you for everyone.
Jogimo on KO?
Very different from the side of G2. Trent is going to be staying in that Sova. Leaf was playing on the Astra, now he's on the Viper. To me, that is a big sign. Love a Leaf, a
Neon,
Viper.
X-Ross, Phoenix.
You don't know anything.
Harbor.
Valin, he was the one playing on the Harbor. He's now going to be playing on the Astra. Jogimo is not on the Neon.
I don't think they've played a Harbor. Usually when they play Harbor, they've had Francis playing Harbor. I think.
It's Baby Bay going head to head with Danby on the Neon.
That's crazy. Again,
Baby Bay on Neon, Drachma, KO.
Trying to make plays for G2
That's
to get
crazy.
over the hump and get
I think it's
themselves
just a
their
role
opening
issue.
win in
Baby
the
Bay
final opening
can't really
round of
play
EWC
KO, or
2026.
nobody else
It is
can really
G2
play
and Nongshim Red Force on
KO
breeze for the first time here at
without
EWC.
swapping an
On the
important
call,
role.
it's
Like
Achilles
maybe
and Paperthin. Gentlemen, take it
Trent
away.
could, or maybe Valen could, maybe Leaf could, but
There's a
then
lot to unpack here, as it turns out. The desk is just highlighting it. We're gonna have
maybe Jogma feels the most comfortable on it.
and Baby Bay is the one.
Ooh, and we have
for
Paperthin and
G2. I did
Achilles.
not have this on my
It's better
bingo
be
card at all.
No,
cinema.
I didn't have a lot of this on my bingo card, to be completely honest, when it comes to what G2 is showing us. I mean, I always really enjoyed watching Valen on the Harbor on this map, but switching over to the Astra, you know, with the KO, it feels a little more post-plant heavy here for the side of G2. So coming into this attack side, it feels like they're going to maybe try to match Nongshim's speed and aggression that they're so well known for. You know, these really well-rehearsed executes into really oppressive post plants in particular, because you've got that Astra, because you got that KO, because you got that Sova, you've got a lot of ability here, and the Viper, you've got almost every Molly that you could ask for to try to just deny Nongshim from getting those retakes to really solidify and get those sticks on those defuses. But we will be seeing if that is the case. It's Nongshim spreading out in a 3-2 formation early. Want to send their strong side over towards A. I think seeing this Neon in that comp, you know, they're well known to be A-side abusers on this map, so probably assuming that that very well could be. Domby is going to get identified by the knife early from G2. Francis, only seeing Valen, that's not a ton of info necessarily, but it makes you suspect A.
This is a sprint forward, quick little glance over. Baby Bay able to spot out some of the players here on Nongshim. A little fan out around the site though, and still this forward tuck from RB. And we'll be able to get the jump on one. Strongman's going to be taken down. Really bolt into the corner.
Okay, they're bunkering in because they're splitting through A. Ivy with 3. I think he gets 4. Oh, well played.
Yeah, and this is exactly
So
what you
tempo
want to
from
see
G2,
Nongshim.
that's different.
If the success that they had in the qualifiers here for EWC 2026 are going to be replicated in a long-term stint here, it's that, yes, you're always going to be looking at Domby, what he can do on the Neon, things like that. Very impressive, the way he creates space. But it's Ivy who has been leading the charge for them. He has been the one in those back lines, along with Francis, doing a really nice job of cleaning up those kills, being really sturdy. You know, and Ivy has always been mostly really good. Had a little bit of stumbles in stage 1 in Pacific, but right there, you can see why he was often top fragging for Nongshim.
I mean, I'm not trying to be, I don't think I'm being revisionist here.
Damn, push out a mid on an anti-eco.
Ivy was the one that I had voted to be the MVP of that tournament after they, with their
Okay,
win,
some
with their
trades.
lift of the trophy. Meanwhile, though, it's going to be a full-out fight here in mid. And G2 very much the ones limping away from this. X-Ross
Leaf might get one.
Francis. A quick turn to the side.
Yeah,
Able to
piece
put a
headshot,
shot there
piece
into the
headshot
chest
with the
of Leaf.
bandit.
Looking for a bit of a timing as Valen through shop. As Leaf will be able to hold his own for one. Bandit chance
They
to
have
get some more
spike.
damage through. If he can click some heads, but it will be Ivy with a backstab to go ahead and bring this round to its conclusion. 3 players surviving, key weaponry going to be carried over, and a 2-0 start for Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, a couple little nice moments from G2 in this one. A little setup there to trap the player around the corner, use the snake bite, force them out, and getting that early kill onto X-Ross, keeping him kind of pinned in. Yeah, Francis, another player looking to do damage, obviously. You know, there's a lot of really good players on Nongshim. They absolutely destroyed at a Masters, so this is one of the only team that took a map off them, though.
That is true. G2, one that made them bleed for the first time at that tournament. Forced them into an overtime as well to try to close out that series, but it was, of course, Nongshim coming away with a win in that upper semifinal. Meanwhile, drone just going to be sent forward. Francis spotting out Baby Bay.
Well, they've gotten a
Bro, I just love how all the cams are completely off.
Push up. You know, a lot of times if you're taking elbow control like that, you're trying to clear up mid too, but this is all quite an elaborate ruse.
He's playing the fake.
Damn,
well here for
Neon
the team. They'll
diff.
find themselves a fairly open a site. So
Giacomo entering on the KO.
Very quickly rewrapping
they have
mid
control
through that main as Ivy continues to explore a little bit further towards the attacker's spawn. But now fully planted out. 4 players to try to hold the line. Spot on the one. Downbeat setting up that relay bolt, trying to zone them back. Leaf, however, eyes just going to be turned over towards double doors.
They're just waiting.
Wall's going to be set up. Trent watching the rear, but now starting to pull off the angle.
It's an interesting harbor wall. Usually the wall goes a little bit outer towards bricks.
But Nongshim continue to scale forward, taking some space here on the site.
Well, late lurk by Ivy.
The wall going to be falling, and immediately G2 able to find a plethora of kills.
And they probably know. Trent's not watching.
With the on the spray, Trent surviving, still very healthy, as that will be a bonus conversion denied.
Yeah, really clean in this post plant for G2. Just doing a ton of spam damage early when the harbor wall comes up. Even though, okay, you lose Baby Bay, but again, when a Neon is normally doing that kind of play, it's meant to create a crunch at top mid to go into B-Link, and it completely fools Nongshim, and they have to play a full-on retake. And G2 has that post plant on lock. The positioning's there, immaculate. Fire very good. A little bit of spam here back and forth as Nongshim is going to use a molly of their own to try to contest this orb, as Exros has been newly kind of anointed as the secondary duelist for Nongshim. You know, behind Dombi, who has been back on permanent Neon duty. Francis back onto initiators for this team. So a decision that kind of, I think, makes sense overall. Francis very flexible, very good, no matter what you throw him on.
We're just doing a straight A hit with
firepower into play.
lurk from Leaf.
One of the key reasons why they're able to make it to this tournament is Phoenix. Palpable here within the
okay, Baby Ray gets one.
He's gonna be able to strike a little bit faster. Francis trains it back, but then gets traded out. As Valen will come away with that second kill. So player advantage now in the hands of Nongshim. That operator going to be left on the floor as Downbeat collects a Vandal. Try to utilize that for this retake.
Late lurk by Leaf.
Okay.
Across,
I think Giacomo got tagged.
Bolt going to be sent in as well. He finds the first, but cannot find the second. Trent with that shutdown. As Ivy needing to find a little bit more there. Hunter's Fury will get baited out. They know RB now going to be contained into the corner. 8 HP to try to see if he can find maybe a additional little lick of damage. But ultimately, it's going to be coming up shy of the mark, you would suspect.
Leaf is too far.
Spam going to be coming through, and Leaf, it's just going to be a matter of time as the code will fall, and so too shall RB. G2 tie it up.
Yeah, I mean, again, just really solid macro ideas from G2 on this map. They've got some really neat, you know, kind of setups that they're running. We're seeing the late lurk from Leaf, as you would expect from this team. Well rehearsed, well drilled. Dombi's been playing a lot of operator during his free time. I've been seeing him posting a lot of clips on his social media, but right there, can't connect with the shot, and that's pretty crucial. Could have made that retake a lot safer.
Gotta say, op Dombi or a Dombi on an op.
At the very end, but
it's pretty new.
That extra layer for G2 because you couldn't claim some of those early kills.
Straight A fight out of the defense.
Obviously, weaponry not going to be great for it, so just some spam shots out, no connections found.
But G2's been playing that.
They're taking a timing mid. It is a Nico.
Being patient, looking for those aggressive push-outs from Nongshim.
Speaking of which,
they hear the noise.
Down on this shop side, footsteps being made. Balanced.
Oh, first shot was so important.
Second layer now going to be spotted out as RB. Does manage to get a decent amount of damage across a Collat on a Valen and Trent. Downbeat with one. Now with a second. And 2 steps. Finishes off.
If he grabs a gun, it's winnable.
It's Ivy here. Early damage suffered. Just chuck the Guardian over to the side. Collects a Phantom.
Probably going to finish A.
As the lurk forward into mid, this allows for Downbeat to continue to keep his eyes trained forward on a main.
Chogmo gets plant. He gets ult.
Not going to be able to scope the gun for Dombi, but
Valen does too, but
get a one tap here. Make
it's not anywhere close.
Definitely a real shot.
Going for it. Jogger was down to 5. A hell of a hit to be coming through, but Ivy now going to be taken down, and Dombi has to do it all.
Oh, the timing.
Around the back for the moment, not going red. Swings in, finds the first, but Baby Bay very quick on the adjust. As the shutdown does not allow him to get anything more, and G2 will take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, it's really just good game planning so far from G2. They've clearly kind of identified and read some of what Nongshim is going to be wanting to do on this map, and it shouldn't surprise anyone. They're going to want to be aggressive. They're going to take control of those orbs if possible to try to funnel them into Xros a little bit, as well as establish some presence on the map to set up and play their style of game. So it's kind of two things at once that G2's been able to deny from Nongshim so far once we've gotten to these rifle rounds, and they're on the move again. They're going to use the no command to thwart RB from throwing any more util into their face, but 3 big ultimates available for Nongshim. RB one away.
Keep scale forward. It's gonna
Hey,
be
they flood 4 at a B to fight the lurk because they've been doing 4-1s past 3 rounds.
A full take here by G2 and Valorant.
Zombie's by himself.
Still go sliding across, but
oh, what a play. That was a good stun.
Getting isolated, pushed back out by the relay bolt. The player advantage going to be reestablished.
If Valen runs out towards door, then Dombie probably catches him. He has to run with his knife out, or has to fight to the right side of the Astral wall.
Going around the back, likely getting the spot out. Trent just going to be suffering some damage. The face forward now.
Phantom moment. The dink.
3 players alive. Big bolster to the economy. Nongshim Red Force will tie it up 3-3.
Yeah, so Nongshim finally able to conjure up a response to what we've been seeing from G2, and this time it's just a big push out through B. They're saying, okay, if you guys are going to fight A main that hard, then we're going to set up early to try to counter it and get into those post plants quicker to find your flanks a little bit more, get that early advantage in the player department as well, which they're able to do by taking down Leaf. And then, even though the Cosmic Divide utilized here, maybe not anticipating that Nongshim would just keep swinging in towards Valen, leaving him all on his lonesome. G2 tries to fan out, tries to put players into individual positions to succeed, and this time around, Nongshim able to win some of those battles. They're able to hang on to most of their ults. Just had Xros as used in that previous one. So you've got everything in the kitchen sink as Nongshim try to set G2's economy into the gutter. Jogamo just on a stinger in this one, and he's only got 100 credits behind that.
Rough go of it after that previous round loss. Leaf with a very clean shot. Xros going to be taken down as well. Stinger be damned. Don't even need it to get involved. The rest of the players with their rifles looking clean as all hell. Now, given that your other player is a world away, RB is calling for this save. So
I think Nongshim probably are happy with 5.
They don't have to commit much of anything to this.
No, not at all. And probably just talking a little bit here is Nongshim about how they want to take that mid fight. I mean, just kind of going into the, the first one from Dombie, okay, you're going to let him try to make those moves where he's willing to just take a 1v1 on the slide. And, he's usually pretty good for it, or at least able to do some damage. But then the fact that G2 has layers behind it to cover the attempted re-aggression towards what Dombie started, and then it was just shut right down because G2, again, playing very cautious, very safe most of the time in the beginning of these rounds. And again, an immediate change up from G2 from what they saw in the previous round. They're a little bit more thoughtful early here, and then they get a big push out in towards mid quickly.
Still enough to get the buy going.
Yeah.
4 ultimates to try to utilize to tie this up once again. Obviously, G2 able to get into a post plan. That pit from Leaf could be giving them absolute fits. For now, just some mid presence, but Dombie okay. I think just spam through the wall, maybe a pixel out of place there from Jogamo. Either way, he does get punished. Early takedown in the favor of Nongshim as Ivy still looks to try to hold the line here on this B site. Quick little jump peek out. 2 players going to be spotted.
And now you should feel like this is potentially going to be a B hit, so you have to call over a little bit of extra help. So RB was there, but
Cross pulled off this angle though. Be able to try to get the early jump on these players in transition back over to A.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on in elbow, so they have to re-clear that space. Otherwise, going to be leaving Francis on a bit of an island on his own on A, but he's already tucked way back. Doesn't want to try to fight at the point of attack. Coming as the Sova, he could be, ripe to the picking from Baby Bay's overdrive if he were to pop it.
Spot out anything that he can, but they still have to scale forward. There's a spot out. Hunter's Fury available to try to just slow things down, and he will send this one out. A little bit off in that first pulse. Retap, just baiting out the charges. In the end, ultimate going to be expended. Trench is going to be hit
Clear
the one
mid.
time.
Leafs and double door. They don't clear. Oh, damn. W jinx.
Full flash connecting there on a Valorant, going deep enough. Now the overdrive is going to be popped. This baby frantically backpedaling away, just trying to avoid all this.
Damn, just overwhelmed.
Valorant just able to find the one before getting taken down. Now it is all on the shoulders of Trent.
Bro, what am I looking at?
And as that wall falls, so too shall he. Francis will find it, and Nongshim will tie it up again.
Now you're seeing Nongshim be a little bit more disciplined, playing a little bit more cautious into the beginning of these rounds, giving up some of that space and looking to make some counter moves early. And the spam catches a player out. That kind of sets G2 scrambling to try to find the open space on the map. They do eventually, but you have that Hunter's Fury there to delay, to set up for this retake. Xros, great job checking that corner. And then when Nongshim is kind of running and gunning together like that, hard to slow down their roll for sure. We're going to go contestant towards B, Ivy.
It might just be a fast hit, but the pit will go through, and this ends up looking like a very good read from Nongshim, but also big overcommitment. Ivy, he could have just backpedaled out of that one, held down the main, but instead pushes forward.
Rubber wall to stall?
The pit gone.
So that they take...
Plant will come through. RB very quickly slots his way forward here into the site.
Okay.
Balls raised, overdrives exchanged on either side. Jump up over the top.
Two from that position.
Valen as well, joining him in the grave. While bang shots in.
2v3.
Behind the box. Downbeat tagged down to 21, even with the overdrive. Does give him some balls as he tries to maybe go for these plays. Curveball ends up going in a little bit
okay, Downbeat's low. It's pretty much a 1v1.
Down and Trent now looking to try to play this one patiently. The Hunter's Fury available. Sends it out. Here's the push coming through. Downbeat stopping him from getting any additional.
Damn, my bad. My bad, Downbeat.
14 additional damage. Keeps himself in the fight and gets Nongshim back into the lead.
And this is one of these rounds that just makes you so impressed with Dombey as a player, because it's not just the mechanical skill, it's not just the aim, it's the brain here too, where he recognizes very quickly, you know, things are going bad over on the B site, so he throws up the wall, gets RB up on top there, he gets 2 kills, then he's going to scale around, cover the site itself, then he's going to rip his ult and make sure that when Trent has that Hunter's Fury, he can't do anything with it. He's very aware immediately of where that Sova is and what he's trying to accomplish, and is right there to shut it down. That is a really, really good round from your Neon.
I'll wait for confirmation, but this feels like a timeout. At least a pause of some kind.
Dun.
About what I was about to get into is this does feel like, yes, a moment for G2 to call a timeout. Yes, the score is incredibly close. You're only down by 1, but you don't want Nongshim to start running away with this, and you want to be having as strong of an attacker side as you possibly can. This is your side selection. You still have this critical ult in the pit available. You're 2 charges away from having both that Cosmic Divide as well as the Null Command online. So pivotal moments here for G2 that will really help determine whether or not they can rally back, close this half out with a lead of their own, or whether Nongshim will just run away with the rest.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense that you need to be calling these timeouts even when it's close on this side of the map, because attacker side very, very important, because you know that Nongshim probably going to be doing a lot of damage to you once they flip.
Downbeat gives over a ping off that recall.
They're gonna refight A with the flash. Ace. Jeez.
Able to find the 2, and suddenly it is just
they had no idea.
Does get stunned up. Looks back around the corner fast enough, but now the Molly's gonna be there at his feet. Push back
no damage. Jeez. 1 flash and a stun.
Shutting down G2 inside of
God damn.
That's one of those ones where Josh RT,
I need to see this
thought
replay.
He had a good read on an idea, and the Nongshim coaching staff knew what he maybe was going to think about going for.
Flash.
And this is
He,
spectacular.
And now I'm curious about the ping reveal that Downbeat gave.
That's crazy.
Playing on the side of Pyramid, gets revealed there, and then slowly but still very quickly scales forward. So it
might have been intentional.
When you see Downbeat that far back, you're not necessarily going to be ready for that just full barrel forward against you. So I felt like that was an elaborate bait.
I think you're right. Does feel like that. You get a couple spots there with that knife, though, so G2 should be reading this pretty quickly that they're going to have an open A site.
If you get Dambi and
Cosmic
X-Cross
but Nongshim again
on a knife,
long spawn
probably rush into
to
site.
get this retake to go. Worked the treat a few rounds ago. See if they can get this one available, but with that pit in play,
Counting on flank duty.
Chucking everything that they've got. Now set up to try to delay. Null command obviously very much hindering.
Okay, an Ivy reclearing nest.
Love to commit this, run it back into this position.
Seeing if they push out towards spawn.
Now was able to do so as the ult does expire. Still going to be delayed on the push. The sprint through. Dambi going to be caught in the end as well.
No trade.
Cannot finish the job. Pushes forward up into the pit, and he will quickly fall. And now it's just X-Ross having to backpedal away, try to hold onto his weapon. Baby Bay trying to play this one in. Will lose his life. Pass the kill to Jogamo.
Longshim with 6, probably going to be a 6-6.
Absolutely swatted in the previous.
This is just a great mental battle between RB and Valen right now. Valen this time able to dial up some responses to kind of the ideas that they had already seen previously from Nongshim in a very similar retake. They've got the run it back. They're going 4-man through spawn. And they know kind of what they're going to do. So it's a stall. Yes, you have the null command there as well, the Viper's Pit to make it a lot easier. But a lot of this comes down to the fact that you have so many layers with those mollies, with the grav well, to make sure that Nongshim has to press to try to get that retake.
Looking for this crunch again. I'll be sticking around for a little bit longer as the drone will be committed forward as well. Interrupted by that 0 point in the end. Relay bolts is going to be exchanged and everybody going their separate ways. And in the end, it's just really Francis eating a bit of damage. No one scathed on the side of G2.
Just
until that.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't really have much happen. Ivy versus Leaf. Viper v Viper, but nothing going to be coming out of that other than revealing each other's position. Now Nongshim re-clearing mid. Trying to make an aggressive push.
Okay, so Nongshim
potentially to try to square up against
3
Dambi.
pushing out a double door.
They're just gonna they're gonna slow.
I mean, Leaf has destroyed them from this position. It feels like yes, he absolutely has. The second kill found. Dambi, the only one surviving. Only one nearby.
I think one minor fix to that is just you have someone also hugging the other wall.
Get the spot on the Jogamo, swings in, takes the fight against Baby Bay, ends up winning that, wins the follow-up. 3 kills now for Dambi. Tagged down to 6, but he's somehow gotten them into an advantageous position.
We have 2 ults.
The overdrive immediately going to be popped.
It's not going to hit anybody. Trent.
Plays out in front of that one, dodging.
It's a 2v2.
Caught, gets a shutdown onto the Neon. Double wrap around to this plant side. RB. Try to get the sun in case there's this second little flank coming through.
They have to double peek.
This one together. As RB is able to find
Oh, they just went it out.
Somehow, some way, Nongshim
are looking good.
And lock up a 2-round lead of the half.
Yeah, the individual.
But that's hard to tell because you don't know the quality of G2. You don't know if this is G2.
He's been doing it with the aim.
They're Americas or G2 in Masters London.
Disciplined really nicely to not give anything up over to G2. A lot of players in that 2v2. When you've got 2 players on your left-hand side of those pyramids are going to swing and just try to go because you got that 1v1 initially. If you get that one quick, then you can just transfer over, get the other guy, right? No, RB backs up and waits for Ivy to reposition to isolate those fights a little bit better. Really, really well played.
That's still damn close between these teams. A lot of these rounds just kind of teetering on the edge, but Nongshim still the very solid read, and this has been one of the big maps for them in their run to make it here to EWC. You know, will they stick with it given the changes moving into this patch? The answer is yes, and it's still
damn, something I just thought about is that G2 doesn't really have a good map pool. I don't remember them ever being a good Sunset team, so they have to ban it. And then I think one of their permabans was Breeze, because they have barely played Breeze. That's why their comp looks so funky.
It's always a big gamble when you try to go for a comp swap like this.
And so then that leaves Haven, Lotus, which I think they're both pretty good on. Haven, Lotus, Ascent. I don't think they love Ascent.
excellent on that agent. That,
And what else am I missing? Split. Split.
He's so creative, he's
I think
so smart with
everybody
it,
has.
he makes your life so miserable at the choke points,
Everybody has a
on your
pretty
way
good
to
at
B or A.
splits.
He's really,
I
really good
can't
with the
remember off the
timings
top of
and
my head if they have.
so, you know, maybe the Astra's still a little bit
What do they play on split? Oh, they used to play like a waylay, raise or a waylay. Yeah, a waylay raise. But everybody has a standard comp on split, so.
Especially when Domby's playing like that.
So that's split, Lotus, Haven, Breeze, Sunset, and Ascent. Split, Lotus, Haven, Breeze, Sunset,
the defensive setups for KO likely going to be a bit
split.
stronger. 0-point denial on those drones in particular.
Let me do it again. You have Split, Lotus, Haven, Sunset. Oh, I'm forgetting Summit. Split, Lotus, Haven, Sunset, Summit. Split, Lotus, Haven. Split, Lotus, Haven. Split, Lotus, Haven. Sunset, Summit.
Some value being found. I think this defender side is really where you should be getting a lot more out of it.
Spot out here from Baby Bay.
Breeze.
Unable to get those shots.
Split, Lotus, Haven,
Well.
Sunset, Summit, Breeze.
Jogamo just continuing to peek off this corner. But he can spot.
Now which one am I missing?
Swing.
Ascent. Split, Lotus, Haven, Sunset, Summit, Breeze.
Swooping out and claiming his head.
And sorry, I'm distracted by the game. Damn, that's such good movement. Split, Lotus, Haven, Sunset, Summit, Breeze, Ascent. Okay, there.
Of the week, and now Baby Bay 2 shall fall. Nongshim, another pistol collected, now up 8-5.
Yeah, you just buy a bunch of sheriffs and put them in the hands of these guys, and they just go in there fearlessly, click people's heads. That's just beautiful stuff in terms of, again, individual skill on display from Nongshim. This first one, I was so nervous here for Jog on those wide swings. I was like, oh man, if the timing here is wrong, and it was. Then Valen just, the Domby's like, yeah, later, bro. I know they've got you dead to rights behind me.
Yep.
See ya.
Just playing the rest of them. 17-7-5 at the moment on that Neon. Ivy once again left on an island. It's just a bit of a repeat here from Nongshim, giving me deja vu. Obviously, have plenty of weaponry this time around, but they're really expecting this forward push into mid from G2. Instead, it's actually coming through A main. Jogamo again gonna get tagged down as well. Both of them down to 45.
Pushing out a A from G2. It's gonna get fed to the. Whoa, no. I didn't hear a pop.
Nongshim end up having an incredibly clean anti-eco round.
Yeah, that's really successful. They were just patient enough. And just as they're starting to get
Okay, so now that we have the map pool.
Francis there makes contact, does some damage, doesn't take too much himself. It was only like 3 damage total to his
Split,
health,
Lotus, Haven.
So
Their G2 is fine. And then you have the new map. Wait, actually,
you've got your 2 duelists right behind
do they have the new map in this map pool?
The Marshall.
They shouldn't.
Really nice.
Right.
Pretty effective bonus that Nongshim's going to be bringing to bear.
Yeah, it's a ton of firepower here. Just that Marshall, but
Fracture.
Hell, we saw yesterday how much damage that can deal here on this very map.
In Francis's hands as well. He is an excellent sniper, as we all know, from Santiago. Almost said Madrid. I was like, nope. Don't do that one.
Fracture, Ascent, Breeze, Sunset, Lotus, Haven. And it's Fracture going up. Fracture going out for Summit.
G2 is very unsure about what's going on the map right now.
I don't think they saw anything. Wall able to get raised fast enough, and Ivy quickly is filling in this space behind them. Meanwhile, Damby just drawing.
And they might get a bonus.
Over to the far side of the site. Yep. Ivy then strikes. 2 kills found.
Already dead.
What he meant to do, other than save, but they're still working their way forward towards the site.
Okay. Okay, if Trent gets that, then it's probably possible.
feels impossible with the way that Nongshim are playing right now. Yes, in the end, we'll have to try to make this call, but he is being matched. Ivy on the side already. Push forward past this wall, finds him at Nest, gets himself a 4K as Nongshim.
Okay, so real quick, we'll look at it. If my Chrome doesn't crash.
This map is over.
Whoa, 2-6 XLG. Where?
Time he's been a hero. So
Wrong stream. The
secondary Bitbo goes down, and what can
things starting to look really dire for G2. One stinger for Leaf, otherwise it's just Sheriffs available. No ults really in the realm of possibility unless Baby Bay goes absolutely crazy.
Bro.
Exros will be getting very close to his
okay,
ult.
real
Ivy
quick,
well
I'm gonna just look at it.
from a pit. So this is concerning for G2 in a couple different ways. Even if you do some damage.
So again, G2, their permaban is fracture. That's why they played Lev, and they just threw in like a spontaneous plan. They ended up winning, but their permaban is fracture. They can play it, but it's probably just a one-off comp. Breeze.
The wall gets re-raised, but he's not going to be able to see a damn thing. Baby, however, is just going to be seeing bullets.
Why does it have Nongshim? This is Nongshim pick Breeze.
Again, these eco attempts here from G2.
Okay, we'll just go off of what this says.
Yeah, it's rough, to say the least. Let's see if Trent has some magic.
It's gotta be one of the scariest.
Okay, we'll just go off map pool. Yes. So they're not, their permaban is fractured. They don't really like, G2 don't really like playing Ascent either. Breeze is not really a good map. In my opinion.
Francis wanted to try to get his ult online. RB says I'm a
yeah.
away, so you get that
Sunset is an unknown. They're good at Lotus, they're good at Haven, and they can play Split. So a lot of these maps are a lot of unknown for G2.
Nice little early ideas. Ivy, even though he gets revealed by the ping, gonna use that snake bite, give himself a little bit of time. Again, Nongshim's been really good on this map about when they do find themselves in tricky situations, about buying that extra time for the rest of the team to get there to bail them out. And again, that's that coordination, that speed that this team can play with. That is so good. It's good enough to win you a Masters.
Meanwhile, built up in the previous round, but never committed that. Run it back, still there. So we'll just take a pause in the action. We're grabbed here by Francis. Valen scaling forward. Will get slotted up into A lobby.
Well, Jogamo, even though he takes a bunch of damage, his knife there might have saved G2 a little bit, potentially. As it did hit Exros, so he couldn't just get up there and rip the ult. And just kind of, you know, if you give up that A site in this round and they're able to get that pit into play, it feels like you're going to be on map point as G2. So, a little bit to the cause there and forcing plan B out of Nongshim, I think.
Bro, where's Trent on his cam?
Waiting out that Sova util, not going to give up anything. Ivy doesn't get spotted. Leaf ready with the snake bite.
It sends it onto the corner instead of on the main. Then that still means the floodgates are opened up here for Nongshim. Dambi gonna eat quite a bit of damage on that entryway, but Exros
gets lead. Trent gets 2. 4v4. Trent takes the timing. Whoa. He's tagged.
Has been revealed. Meanwhile, RB finding Baby Bay.
Trent is still moving.
Makes it into a 2v2.
Doesn't duck the flash.
Still gonna be there, however, for Nongshim as Exros.
Jesus, X-Cross. The true Masters London Grand Finals MVP.
So close to being able to do something really special here for G2. He's one more kill away. He's able to slip the net. Trick Nongshim enough that they're not exactly sure. When he repositions here, he doesn't get identified. So Ivy comes through the back thinking that he's still backside or something like that. Instead, he's actually moved up towards the pillar. But Exros, phenomenal. Such a stellar young player. Think that he is a royal roader, comes in and immediately in his first year in Tier 1. Goes up, wins a Masters. And that right there, folks, is why he is sharp as all hell.
Well, now the final timeout call to come through from G2. I have to suspect that a lot of this is just going to be trying to get prepared for that next map. Shake this one off, boys. Breeze is theirs. It's coming back from here. I mean, seen it from G2 in the past. I know the caliber of play that they are capable of, but at the moment, it's not really shining through.
No, I had a lot of hope after that first half that they were going to hang a little bit more here in the second half. I saw some good ideas, some good thoughts, some good counters, a little bit of anti-stratting in there.
And G2's kind of just playing the second half like AG played theirs. Yeah. Haven't been able to find a damn thing.
On that Lotus, yeah. Now it is all the money invested, of course, is G2, is some Guardians, a Bulldog.
Yeah, see, this is what I was saying, that their Nongshim is happy with 5. Since their camp. That is so crazy how, like, even in pro play, there's situations where you will play, you'll be in the neon running in and sliding, and you'll just get one tap. Like, you'll just get absolutely deleted. And then in pro play, you see that even Domby in that situation, it takes him like a couple seconds. He doesn't even have his gun out, or he's pulling out his gun, and he's still not dead. Whereas as you're sliding in, you literally get instant one tap.
Tucks over to the side, slides in, and Ivy will sit him down. 7 health remaining. Sends out the pit to try to keep himself alive. The shock dart will be able to find that kill. Nullified immediately as RB. Swing at the corner. Takes the fight. Takes Trent's life. It all comes down to a 1v1. Ooh.
Bro, Francis is so low.
The challenge in, and
jeez, the timing.
13-5. Nongshim take us back to Breeze, and they take G2 to
Nongshim looks strong. G2, it's not a good look.
You know, you're seeing the
it's not, I don't think it's their map pick, but
obviously getting here through the qualifiers,
making it not a competitive map within like a couple rounds. If Nongshim win by like 2 to 3 rounds, then it's not that bad. So that kind of looked like a stomp heading into that second half.
That needs to be the staging ground. Take this all the way to a third and final map if they want to get some revenge over Nongshim Red Force from that loss at Santiago, from being sent down to that lower bracket. But for now, let's go ahead and send it back over to Digon on the desk to break down all the action from Breeze.
Thank you very much, guys. A little bit faster than what we thought in the setup of this head-to-head between G2 and Nongshim Red Force, but in the end, Nongshim come firing out, especially in that second half, rifle off 8 round wins in a row to call it with only 5 there. Thank goodness Global Esports played earlier, otherwise this would be the biggest one-sided loss of the tournament so far.
Okay, while this is going on, we can check out how this game is doing.
Quick with the flick there on the Stinger. Now the drone to start clearing.
Okay, it looks like
you did see at the start of the round, pings going on C.
It was 5-7 at half, and
that's because the ending is going to be on C. No man's already explored it.
General meets 1 pistol.
Lysol still has to get through garage. 2 players waiting there for him. Wait for the long flank by Happy.
19 and 10 from Raga. On a 5-7 half. That's interesting.
And he's got 2 players on opposite sides, judge in hand. At some point, though, many
they just have to get a timing.
The rest of his team
trade
are moving on to site as well.
Oh, nice from No Man.
That's not bad at all, but still.
If they get one more, then they're happy. Oh,
but Pippo's too smart for it. I feel like we've seen these scenes before. I think it's Leo in long again, but this time he's gonna go to classic.
Yeah, but it's still an expensive round here for Gentlemates. 3 guns down on their side. They're able to get the Bulldog and
picked
the
up a
Judge. So
Judge.
for their bonus round, it's gonna be a little bit weaker than normal. So for SLG, this is where we need to see if they've learned their lesson. Learned the lesson on making sure they're not forcing those close fights. I don't want to see them going through that garage. I really want to see them taking the long fights, long C, long A, making sure they're clearing, getting a lot of that information, using the util to clear those close angles. I don't want to see them fall into another trap set up by Gentlemates.
Guns up for XLG now. 4 rounds is going to be the gap after losing pistol. And the anti-eco, you talk about traps. How about MA just walking 4 players down long? XLG sneak away from that side of the map, but they do have to be a little bit concerned about the potential flank. But as they run through Garage, it's the alarm bot that will signal the long flank coming on through. It's an empty site. Full retake for MA.
4 players on the flank here for MA, ready to take some util. They got that Killjoy turret down. That's going to be a lot of pressure towards that garage, but the alarm bot's still up. They know it's not going to be a flank. 5 of these players, though, positioned for this garage flood-in.
This is the first time the XLG actually have all 5 alive for this post plant as well. It's been problematic before. They spot Martin going back over towards CT side. That's probably an obvious thing. Prox already gets a shot onto Happy where there's decent damage from the util coming on through, and now that damage is transferring into actual kills.
Sweep.
Leo, Raga, Lysol, all 3 showing up
He
when it
gets
counts.
one.
Martin now, Guardian in hand.
But there's a cross.
Has too many angles to cover.
Bro.
Raga's definitely plus 20 by now.
What the hell? I didn't even
finally giving a round over to XLG
process what
in the second half.
happened.
This is good for XLG now. They're still down, still trying to recuperate a lot of those rounds, but at least they've learned from their mistakes, not doing the same things over and over again, keeping majority of those guns, 3 players left alive. They don't have to force too many weapons. They don't have to give up their economy. They can snowball here. And on this attack side, they actually have that Hunter's Fury online for Leo, able to do something quick if they wanted it to. Or if they get that spike down, they can play a post plant pretty convincingly. Martin, though, he has the run it back. Gentlemates are pushed all the way down long C with Prox. They have so much information, and Cypher is just set up here. Bippo by himself on the A site.
It's a lot more measured from XLG compared to previous maps. On Lotus, they'd already be exegging somewhere. This is just a fake happening over towards the A side. It does seem like M8 are biting. B has gone away for free, as the rest of the team is there, and now as the Neon starts to slide away, in fact the other Neon is getting something done. It's the 1-for-1 so far. Running back being popped by Martin. He wants a little bit of this action. Loses ultimate straight away. Plant still hasn't come down, by the way. Possibility for a mid to C, but does seem like they will commit to it finally. 4 versus 4 with a long flank coming through from Bippo as well. Prox also from the left side of the map on C. But everyone from XLG is peeled off.
Bippo, really nice positioning here. He's not going to get clear just yet, but Happyway has a feeling the timing is going to be really important here. Bippo getting the pick onto Happyway, and now this start of this retake. Martin pushing all the way through, and again, another beautiful crunch. Bippo with this positioning over and over again has been so good when he gets into these spots.
Just completely unspotted, and just without the wherewithal as well from XLG to potentially check for the possibility of a flank. And Bippo gets away with murder there from behind, crunching with Martin coming through from the actual site itself. And Raga's looking 2 ways, can't get a kill there. Wouldn't have been enough anyway with just the one. And suddenly what was looking like a decent attacking start, selling a full fake on the A, getting a somewhat free-ish easy plant on B with a little bit of delay. It's all completely unraveled by this crunch plate coming through from Bippo and Martin.
Did I just see Leo was on his drone at the front of B? Is that what I just saw? That's not good, XLG. We can't be doing stuff like that. Now look at your buy. You have those 3 rifles, but 2 of your players, one of them on a Bulldog, one of them on a Sheriff. It's still a little bit rough, but it doesn't matter because they're walking up towards C. Looks like they're going to go for this execute. They still have that Hunter Fury online.
They're about to walk into all of the Cypher utility. They're going to walk into the mini damage here as well. And there's like some guns actually online for the side of XLG. Those guns are all on the floor now. 4K
this
for mini
game
on
is
the overdrive.
over.
And it's going to be Gentlemates in commanding fashion, taking control of this game again. Both hands on the wheel.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever
No
we let it
timer.
out,
Creative, switching it up almost every single round and making sure that they're getting the rounds of understanding how to play against XLG again. The walk up, the contact play. I really applaud XLG for trying to try something new here for Shilai. But 3 ults online, and they're broke again. A thrifty. And you're about to give them the match point of the game. Martin, beautiful pick onto Rarga. Leo trying to get that Soval to do anything, but not connecting with anyone.
Seen
One
Rarga
thing I want
make
to
use of it
check.
before for good effect, and now
Oh,
okay, how about
do they
Happyway?
clear
No, man.
it?
Suddenly things
The
are starting to turn
timing.
around in favor of XLG here. Leo and Dominic as well. Bippo's got the only responsive kill here. After
Real
all is said
quick,
and done, the
I
reveal
just
the
wanna
rest of
check the
positioning, which
bracket.
says we're going over
Okay, so
towards
winners play each
2
other.
versus 3.
Winners
Couple
play
of
each
upgrades
other.
found here by Lyswan Hepway,
Winners
and
play
suddenly
each other.
things looking
Oh,
on the bright side for XLG.
this is gonna be
Gentlemen
crazy.
trying to get their way back into
2
the fight,
days.
and my goodness, Prox falling at the opportunity there off the back of the paranoia, but Happyway just too sharp. 3-1, and Bippo might just have a little bit too much to do here. XLG, an unlikely round for them to actually win. They're going to Thrifty.
I can't believe this. XLG has been so good at winning Thrifties because of the way that they're playing it. It's like they have nothing to lose, and every single time they get rewarded
And
for
they
it.
lost Raga instantly.
Exactly. They're so good at these rounds. They're so good at getting their ones, getting their picks when they're just taking those fights and forcing
Second on
it. It's like
Willie.
it was insane. Those 2
Jeez.
picks, man. I think here Mini kind of throwing a little bit, playing so
The
close
comments
when they
better be
know that they're on
crazy.
an eco again. They're pulling some of the same mistakes that XLG was doing. But gun round for both these teams. Judge on the side of Mini, and he's trying to play that towards Short A.
Might have just given a breath of life here for XLG. A second win has been spotted, and speaking of spotted, Martin has been spotted. That's a bit of a risk because if somebody actually swung him while he's shooting the turret, he would have gone down. It's going to be Prox on the line here against all 5 from XLG. A very important round, and they find the timing.
Whoa, oh
Raga
god.
just runs on in.
Fucking
And now what can we get
hit.
out of Stars over here? Again,
Timing.
all 5 around the corner. Raga's so
Raga
fast,
might get an
doesn't even
ace.
see the timing of that. 5v3. It looks like XLG will find another round.
They've learned from their mistakes, XLG, using that drone
they're already
up long
backing off
C
and
instead of just
phasing.
contacting up. And Rarga, beautiful, beautiful pacing to just follow up. Get the
Leaf on Chamber. I think that Leaf is having a good day, so that is either him on
I
Chamber
do
or
not
Viper
wanna
I
miss
like.
this.
I want to see him
forcing M8 to play at their pace. And now, Gentlemates, they're going to go for that save. Maybe a couple of exits, but still safe because they want to save those rifles. Their economy is not good. XLG have snowballed their economy. They also have the lockdown, 1 away from that Viper's Pit as well. They have so many really good winning conditions for them to win these post plants. They just need to keep enabling themselves to get onto that site.
And nothing easier to fuse against the Viper's Pit either in a following round, but more importantly, you thought that XLG were going to get choked out of Haven, but suddenly they just find that extra gear. I mean, how fast is Raga to get that shot as well? Barely a pixel available. And Prox just eats dirt. Gentlemates now 2 rounds to play to finish this map and get the series 2-1. We'll take a tack pause here to talk about how they're going to get that one done, because despite there still being 2 rounds to play through and that not being a lot, seems like XLG are starting to find their momentum themselves as well.
Yeah, timeout here at a good time because they need to understand what's going wrong. They need to hear back from their coach. They need that third-party perspective. And right now, it feels like maybe they're just waiting for an operator to be online so they could shut down a lot of what Rarga's doing. Make sure to punish him from holding W, going crazy and getting those initial picks. But I think also they should not play scared. The last thing I want to see here for Gentlemates is to lose that confidence, to lose that momentum that they've had so far this series, and to make sure they're continuing to play confident, playing those 1v1 peaks. It's okay having a little bit of those hero plays because they've come out on top of it almost every single time. Rarga just needs to get shut down, and I think we have the tools for that, especially when you're looking at Starzo.
The scoreline's looking a little nasty here. Mini and Martin, though, nothing to scoff at, 17 each for them. On the XLG side, it's Raga, a little bit of Happyway contribution, and other than that, not much else to speak of. Gentlemates, the play is going to be quite a few players pushing up into long. Are they going to just drop off Mini here? We'll have a look and see what that means.
You should run.
Lockdown's already in play over towards the mid side of the map, by the way. And who is going to win this game of chicken here? Mini's in a great spot. Hathaway in a worse one. Relay bolts exchanged. How does Mini get out of this situation? A little bit of help from Starzo is good. Raga is going to find only the one. And the lockdown's already gone, by the way.
Timing.
last player standing.
So crazy.
Okay, I think
Beautiful shot from Bippo, but Starzo going back to essentially.
The
It's back,
Extras
yep.
also
Love it.
goes for the Sage, the battle there, and also for the side of the
Sage,
initiators.
this is
G2 has chosen Sky for this map. We were speaking about the Breach. Of course, the Breach, we don't see it anymore.
Different.
We have Francis playing on the Sova on the other side. Fade is also good. I want to see what the angle is and how that synergy Trench Jogamo is going to be working. And, you know, I'm very excited for these compositions.
Yeah, very unique here by the squads. It is Sky and Chamber for the Initiator and Sentinel. On the opposite side, it's going to be Sova and Cypher for Nongshim Red Force. Nongshim Red Force trying to put G2 to the sword and continue their international woes. G2 trying to force a full 6-game day and a potential reverse sweep here. Let's find out how it all shakes on out with our friends from the Pacific. It's Achilleos and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, Digon. Here we go. Obviously, Desk having a lot of fun, getting very jazzed up for G2's comp. I don't know how much I like it.
No. Here. I was right there with Kukuka. When I saw this, my exact thought was, oh my God, yes. There you go.
Well, that's probably the last bit of energy that he's going to have for the rest of his life, so it's been fun.
She's done me in.
We will put him 6 feet under after this broadcast. But, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how this goes. I was fully expecting that Extros stays with the Phoenix coming into this map. So for him to be pivoting over to the Sage, obviously we've seen the applications of this time and time again.
Yeah.
Especially from the, the hands of Paper Rex. How does this look for Extros? We will now find out. He's going to be alone taking that early contact here on the A side of the map. Sets up the wall. Meanwhile, Francis, he's just stormed his way forward. And Baby on that chamber has been taken down.
A B-main insert with the chamber.
Just tucked inside of the smoke for now. Recon obviously not going to be scouting him out from this position. A couple shots able to find.
Oh, what a play by Leaf.
Away with that second elimination for himself. But the spike is planted.
That was a nice little tucked-in position that he found. Make this retake much more difficult. Slowed it down a lot for Nongshim too.
Okay, it's a 3v3. Trent still has flash. They're gonna flash out.
Flash is ready, and Jogamo quick to
Insta deleted.
Really Bolt immediately going to be sent back over towards the side. Downbeat likely to be stunned up.
They don't know.
Valorant around the back, catching them completely off guard. Finds the first, and now Downbeat having to fight his way out of a corner. Takes the first, looks for that second. Can't quite connect on the Trent. It would have been a one tap, but the time is going to be gone. He's just playing for kills from here, and he won't be able to find anything more. 2 players surviving. G2 will find their first pistol of this series and start off Sunset 1-0.
Yeah, it's just so huge there that you're able to get that 2K. Use that smoke against your opponents. They're not going to anticipate that you're in there. There was a little bit of spam consideration that caught Leaf. He was down to like 75 HP, yeah. And then so fast there with the turn too. Exactly what the doctor ordered for G2. And yeah, I do have some current concerns here for Nongshim. I think, without a hard flash in this composition, I mean, all you're sitting with is the paranoia.
Which is why I thought that Phoenix was going to be here for them, but it's not. And Baby Bay, well, gets some revenge, takes down Francis first and foremost. Quick shot out as they continue to try to scale forward and collapse in on this tile's position. And Trailblazer to check the corner, RB to clear that out. Swoops forward a bit closer here. Shortening that gap, but if he pushes back out in the mid, he will be absolutely screwed. Baby Bay just dialed in on this angle. Jump peek to try to get the spot. TP for a reposition. No, just a fake.
Swing off contact. Oh.
I believe it's a no-scope to come away with that kill.
What a dang.
Flushed out, and this is looking to be a potential flawless, unless Extros can find anything, and he cannot. Flawless confirmed in the anti-eco. Valen gets 3.
Okay. Gonna really find out what this composition is made of for Nongshim going into this next one. G2 able to take first blood and able to have a flawless anti-eco, so they're going to be coming in quite well situated to maybe string together a bonus. Really start dominating on their map pick. So far, it's come down to some individual outplays here and there. Baby Bay this time looking a lot more comfortable on that chamber. He's had some...
Understandably.
Yeah, he's pretty good at chamber.
Fast lane forward, blind out on X-Ross, tucks around the corner of the relay ball, going to be connecting as well as Francis tries to peel back.
Okay, good trade.
Trent is right there. They continue to trade
okay, he gets one. And Baby Bay peeks out of B. Takes a timing.
Cannot catch Leaf either. Takes him down to 8 HP, but just cannot seal
it's a bonus.
Had the heal, and he's right back up to full. Ivy now to try to play this one out. G2 incredibly well slated to get this bonus conversion. It might just end up being back-to-back dominant maps, just flipping the teams around. The split might be nearer on the horizon than we anticipate. Ivy eating some damage, does manage to survive. Will quickly backpedal away, keeping his life intact, but this round no closer to going over to Nongshim. So G2 with a 3-0 start.
And you're seeing already, I think, some of the layers that G2's composition is going to have over Nongshim on this attacker side. The deep flashes that you can set up with Trent to get your Neon into a position where they can bully up an agent like a Sage, where they're not really going to have much of a response if that wall has already been committed or isn't available in time to slow down the roll of Jogamo. And even though Francis gets the kill, G2, the rest of them are already starting to swing in, collect lives. So I think this is going to be a rocky road potentially for Nongshim unless they can start figuring some things out here pretty fast. They're going to add some extra layers towards the defense at A, but this time around G2 wants to let Baby Bay and that Outlaw lead the charge back down to an eco. Our Nongshim, nobody is going to have that full armor. Only 2 players even have half. Ivy carries the Vandal over, but can't afford to do much else. Wants to save up for the next round.
Quick break of the segment, just leading the way here for that Trailblazer that will get cleared out. Glow Orb assisting in that, stopping this potential flood forward from G2. Now starting to potentially to explore elsewhere. Just go re-clear around mid.
You know, they haven't hit B.
End up with a full crunch attempt into
They've
its
just
market.
been going A.
And they've got that trademark behind them, so they know
I think
that they can
that trademark should be clear. Like, yeah, you don't want to get pushed
through some of
out.
this space. Cam's gonna
They
see
could have
this,
an
but
op, or in this case, an outlaw. But
Do they check him? The answer for now is going to be no. He swings it. He's able to find one. His leaf will get taken down. He swings around.
3, 4,
is destroying them.
5.
6 bullets.
That's
And it gets the ace.
crazy.
One Vandal's all they
That is
need.
peak Cypher
As they kept
play.
it in the right hands.
Bro waited his wop. He didn't even
I thought
wait.
he was dead to
He didn't
rights
fight the
there,
Neon.
but
He
they
waited for the
just
Neon to
don't
flood by,
check the generator.
and they threw up the wall. The rest of the team went by, and then the Sage was looking elsewhere.
Look at this, immediately
They
all turn
flood,
around, but he's
get
pivoting
1,
so
2,
fast.
a collab,
Valley kinda
3.
walks in front of Trent as he's trying to line up his shot.
Jesus.
Baby Bay was the one in that 4, trying to create that extra angle, and didn't matter. There was no extra angle to create.
They're gonna fight. Oh, fight with Omen.
There's no way to check him from there.
Omen blind. Neon stun.
Now, quick peek
They get
out.
info.
Backs away. And Jogamo, very quick for that punish, slides forward, finds that, plants his feet, and gets a second.
Damn,
Right
insta
back into this
punish.
RG2, not wanting that momentum to get built up by Nongshim.
Just a 5-man hit on A.
In effect, Francis now playing ring around the rosy hill.
What a
with the
timing.
Trailblazer, tries to get the drag across, but now
Jogamo,
for an ace of his own.
ace.
We can find these players, both of them stuck here behind the Sage Walled backside. Even though
They
see
might just
that,
save.
this should just be a call to save in the end, you would suspect, for Nongshim.
It's not winnable.
Cleaning up the wall would just buy too much time off of this clock and the spike plant, so we'll just try to slowly work their way out of this. As the guiding light confirms that street is clear.
Jogamo with 3.
Really becomes how much does G2 want to go on the hunt here to try to take these weapons out of hand.
Well, with the operator and a couple players being pretty low on credits, probably not too eager. Maybe they could send one out. Trent, maybe, but they're not going to do it. So I think you got to rip a timeout here as Nongshim, and you got to talk right here, right now, about how the protocols for slowing down G2 at the chokes, especially at A, are going to be dealt with, because you don't have answers to it right now. And frankly, part of that, again, is going to be the composition that you're running here. You don't have a hard flash to try to slow this down. If you don't have, your Neon able to react properly against theirs, then you're going to have real problems. If the Cypher util isn't there at the front of the site as well, there's no ability for Nongshim to really have a counterpunch. They have to rely a lot on their individual skill, and that's tough against a player of Jog's caliber on a Neon. He is very, very good, as we just saw in that previous round. And, you know, why on Breeze, we were kind of scratching our heads a bit that he isn't on the Neon.
TP into the spawn now. Valen looking for a backstab.
The crunch on B link. Ivy gets 2. Oh my god. Bro, Ivy is so good.
The drone now to lead forward. X-Ross. It's going to be Francis, never mind, actually able to find him. Flash is connecting. Trent able to find just the 1 kill. Looking for that second. Will quickly be overwhelmed.
Man, Trent hasn't been playing that well.
Well, I guess all that you really need to do now is G2 is just avoid
We haven't seen
Ivy.
Trent in his prime Teo form.
Able to shut you down at all. Some individual brilliance. Oh, he even gets dinked there by Jog through the wall, but able to instantly reset. Find 2. So Ivy locked in. We need a little bit of help from the rest of Nongshim. Got some huge ults on both sides of the coin. Baby Bay gonna have that tour de force. Seekers, res for Leaf. Ivy has his neural theft, as well as Francis's Hunter's Fury. RB looking to try to tee up Francis here. Paranoia at the ready, so they're gonna play off contact. Seems to be that this is one of their answers. Just try to slow down the Neon on the other side. But it is just the Paranoia
Damn, all
that connects
5
here.
blind.
On to everyone,
Or at least partially
not
blind.
going to be too dissuaded by that. Continue to work their way forward. Spam shots out. Only going to be about 3 charges, I think, remaining in that tour de force as well for Baby Bay. Boost up over the top of this box. Street side. Down with the Paranoia. Ready to try to clear some angles. 2 players going to be spotted off the drone.
Fighting in this choke.
Spotting out plenty as well. Hunter's Fury now going to be sent
This
through.
ult.
Try to gum things up here on this approach.
Zombie with the op. Good trade. This is big. He doesn't know. He has to cover both.
The rest of the approach is going to be coming from side.
Oh.
Big overcook here from Domby.
They know they have op.
His location is known, and he cannot find Balin. Holds his own. And every time Nongshim tried to take a step forward, G2 pushed them back by 3.
Yeah, this is just really, really tough for Nongshim. This round has got to be kind of a gut punch because you actually read this decently well. You're able to use some of that util, find some answers to at least force G2 to take a pause. And you're going to get basically the whole team over here, but you just can't take them in the fight. You're just getting beat. Some of the 1v1s, Jogamo has the ultimate. He's able to rip a couple players away. So G2, love this comp. Love the way that they're piloting it. It creates so much pressure. This time, Nongshim looking again to maybe set up that Paranoia trap outside of A, but G2 wary of it after what happened in the previous round where damn near all of them got hit by it. Just will get a bit of confirmation that there's players in mid, but you know, doesn't want to mess around. Knows that Baby Bay is going to want to get that op going. How dangerous he is with it. Ross and Domby do have their ults, but right now it's a spread of the map for both teams. Nobody really committing too aggressively anywhere, trying to bait that Paranoia out, and they will.
Free fight at an A. They've been mostly hitting A.
Meanwhile, Baby Bang
showing some presence in mid.
slotting just alongside that trip. Will clear it. So op shot going to be registered.
They know they're fighting mid. They're probably going to end B. At least that's what Nongshim thinks. So they're adding a bunker smoke.
G2 is
Now they don't really have any info, but they do.
Gave away the script a little bit in that previous
They
round,
can
and yes,
start
they're
leaning
able to fight
towards
their way
A.
through. They don't want to make
They
it
broke the
easy for Nongshim to
cam.
get the reads with the rotations. Ivy again.
Ivy
finds
gets one.
Able to find it just before that flash
No
connects.
need to
Quick
quick
peek from RB because the
rotate.
backstab leaf scaling forward up through mid. That will end up getting surrounded.
Okay,
and
some
overwhelmed. It's a good reset
trades.
for Ivy
This
as Baby
kill's
Bang gonna be pushing
important.
forward to try to find that kill, but it's going to be Valen to the rescue, keeping him protected. Spam not connecting, the Trailblazers spotting. Both players' positions widely known. The res to come in. No counter spam going to be available from these
Okay,
positions. So Nongshim
RB
get
has
back into
ult.
a 3v3.
Do they use
Very
it?
far fanned out.
He doesn't have a blind.
Allen could just be there undoing again, but no, X-Ross a little bit faster on the draws. Able to find that kill with Baby catching RB.
RB just dies for free.
Back into this 2v2, and Baby still looking for
Bro,
a little bit more. Turns
time.
to the side, but the shot is just a hair off.
Dude,
Cannot connect with it.
they got it.
Come in. Nongshim Red Force try to get their way back into this map.
This one just gets a little bit scrappy. Kind of some of these weird situations where I feel like one team has the macro advantage and then can't convert the round. You know, a couple rounds ago, it was, I think, you know, Nongshim making the good read, getting all 5 of their players to try to counter the execute, and they can't. In this round, G2 actually works the map really nicely. They're in a position where they get a decently early plant, and they're making it tough for Nongshim, but they're able to find some big kills. On the way through, G2 tries to push out, tries to gain a little extra footing to hold their ground and can't do so.
RB, quick shot. He's able to find one, but Jogamo immediately has that trade, and he's not checking the corner. Rez is there. Does keep this back into 4 players. Just wall them into alley. G2 immediately having to pivot now. Back across into mid, re-clear this space, and potentially strike onto the B site.
Yeah, there's the camera here, though. With that early warning network already installed for Nongshim. But G2 kind of aware of it, of the likely position. A lot of cameras are going to be either where it is or just in the corner right around next to them by the orb. They're just taking their sweet time. Yeah, you're going to see Trent, though. That immediately brings out the slow. A little bit of damage done to Leaf. Again, you're buying a lot of time here as Nongshim.
Nothing that he can't shrug off, though, but now, at this point, you're going to be very committed into this site. 3 players here. The backstab ready to
picked
be
on Dombey.
as Francis is on that flank. And the door
Damn.
is just being held, and at this point, I think the round is just going to be over.
Bro.
Picking in the Dombey 1 by 1. Trent eventually able to find the 1 kill, but now has to try to just retain this operator. He's going to be ping revealed. It's Francis.
Bro, what a jiggle. What a jiggle, bro. Nongshim are looking good.
2 consecutive round wins as they're now 1 away from tying it up.
Yeah, I mean, again, Nongshim is starting to find answers where they're able to send some trickery early, set up some different formations at this A choke to make it a lot more difficult. You know, RB just swings out with the Guardian, and then they're going to tuck a player in to the corner, and again, not checked, causes huge problems. Losing that Neon with the way G2's been playing so far here on Sunset, really, really painful for them to try to get into a site, because then Nongshim can really plant their feet. They don't have to worry about that player running past them. That operator could be so much more effective. Look at this. 2 players up mid.
Again, going for this TP, but it's the same position overall as Francis. It's a Sova with an operator. Of course, Francis to the other side. Gonna be good for the kill. Jogamo sliding forward, able to find the one with the Stinger. Valen with that backstab off the TP, still gonna come away with value as Francis gets blinded up here at alley. But
Bro, no
Trent's still not gonna
punish.
feel comfortable enough to try to flush him out.
It's just
That
the
bandit
Silva
in
with an
hand.
op.
So he needs some assistance. As, oh my God, he almost has the collat, but no, Jogamo.
He waited for the
faster,
collat.
Finds that kill. Valen survives. Next Ross trying to wall them out, but Zold to try to play in Ivy. Heels going through, finds the first, can't quite find the second. Trent again with the operator, able to find a bit of value. And now it is all down to X-Ross. Try to come away with these 2 kills to try to get this clutch. Jump up over top of the box, and Jogamo is ready for it. Has the 3K, and G2 have a thrifty to get up to 6.
Oh, man. I mean, just sending that TP through where there was just no good response from Nongshim because they're busy worrying about the 2 players that have pushed right up mid. So there's no real ability to clear these backlines. You just got to try to hold on to the ground that you have. And that's exactly what G2 wants. Beautiful stuff from Jogamo there in this round. Getting those early kills, creating that space, finding the 3K in the end. Huge stuff. Nice idea from Valen with that TP. It really threw Nongshim for a loop. This time around, Dog goes past that trip, so that's kind of curious. Where exactly, how high is that trip? There. It did get cleared, or pulled back, one of the 2.
Swing in, and Leaf is going to get caught. Big mid exploration there from Nongshim. Really finding some value, getting out scot-free.
Yeah. Now you can slow down. Now that you've got RB so far forward as Nongshim, none the wiser, I don't think, are G2. They're not really paying this consideration, but he pops out a little too early.
And Baby Bay can't quite collect that kill. RB, very fortunate to still be in this fight. Zombie spotting out the enemy Neon, slides his way back over to Market. Just going to be shutting that door for now. RB continuing to stay sat here, but looks like G2 are incredibly suspicious of this.
That smoke's weird.
And it has fallen, so too shall RB. Just not going to be dialed in for that headshot to instantly get the kill on Jogamo. Now the Seeker's going to be let loose. 25 seconds remaining, so they have to push forward onto the site. Downbeat here to try to slow them up as the relay bolt goes in. Trent going to be stunned. Flash out into Downbeat's face. Pedals away. Ends up making a little bit of noise, and Baby Bay will be able to find him. The shot connecting. Francis only going to be good for the one. 10 seconds now left in this round. The swing out. Extros eating some damage. Cannot find those kills, and with just barely a second to spare, the plant can come in, and Ivy manages to hit all three!
Bro, Ivy with 3.
This series, as Ivy bails them out and gets Nongshim a 5th round win.
This would be a 9-2 scoreboard right
That's
now.
crazy, because Baby Bay's holding that offline.
Good.
Holding him, peeking out through the smoke, misses, and he's able to get Valen, Baby Bay, and then Trent. Look at this replay. Look, he's holding him, he misses. That's crazy.
God.
Oh my God.
Just insane.
Pretty much 2 people watching the angle, 1 person planning. And he still gets the clutch.
Ivy's just incredible at times. But it's also going to be so damn frustrating. Meanwhile, Jogamo ushered back away, pushed into the open for Dombey to collect it. Brings out another warning shot. Trying to scare them back over into the arms of Ivy. He's alone on the B site.
You're going to have this drone here. This is going to give you the info as Nongshim that pretty much evacuated A, at least deep enough that you don't need to keep that extra player on that side of the map. So let Donby maybe control that mid. That top mid space. Exros. Ooh, that would have been a good wall. There you go.
Sends it now. Still that gap in the back by the look of it. And yep, we'll just be the double push forward. That might even be able to play in front of this one. Ivy's going to be taken down. The sort of force of Baby Bay is able to find
Extros is isolated.
Isolated, zoned away, just trying to find anything that he can with that shorty over the wall. Ends up coming away empty-handed. His pop flash, the turn not going to be good.
Dan still gets 1.
1 kill as Valen will get taken down. G2 looking pretty firmly in control now as Francis.
All right, 6-6 half.
Now be an RB in a 2v3 to try to clutch this one out. Rendezvous situated. The shot goes wide. RB taken down on the approach, and Downbeat just can't quite make these op shots connect. Clears the dog, wants to try to slide in with that shotgun. Will be able to find the one, but Leaf is there for the counter swing, and G2 will get themselves out into a lead. 7-5 here at the half.
Yeah, it's a great mid-round decision by G2 to swing up into the back of B and put a lot of pressure onto Exros. That seemed to be a big point of this map for them on this attacker side. If they could find that Sage early, that was often where they were able to find a lot of success, where they were able to just make Exros really uncomfortable, really difficult for a Sage. You know, if the wall's already out to stop a Neon, even with the slow orbs, not going to make too big of a difference, or at least in this case, you know, just the overwhelming numbers of G2. It's not really able to hold the line, and then Baby Bay finds that pick onto sight towards Ivy. I mean, as fantastic of a half as Ivy just had, not having him be able to hold the line. Baby Bay with that tour de force. So good with the sniper rifles. Just a exciting first half again.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's just hope that this second half can deliver. I mean, if Nongshim are going to be able to find another pistol, very much we'll have a half for ourselves. And G2 not looking to see that. They want to go ahead and take this one down, get it nice and clean, nice and quick, send this over to a third and final map.
Oh,
This gets better every time you watch it.
It will never get old. That is some filth. Ivy, again, he has been just tremendous in the qualifiers for EWC 2026, and he hasn't been missing a beat since flying over to Paris.
Yeah, but he was during stage 1. This, we saw the performances from him again. Heavy MVP candidate at Master Santiago into a bit of a withering performance in stage 1.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to find those same highs. Wasn't really getting any even regular impact in their matches, which was so shocking to see. But here, look, he's whatever slump he was in, he's got himself out of it. 13-7-1 as the Nongshim. Oh, will they pilot this stage on the attacker side?
Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned about this attacker side. You almost feel like you have to rely too much on Dombi, which is hard to imagine.
Baby Bay out in the mid will be able to get some
Some damage.
France is going to be tagged to 45.
But it's healed. So not the end of the world there.
CD out early. Trademark situated on B main. Baby Bay can quick pivot around. He's playing the 10 spot at the moment.
Yeah, they've created a lot of attention towards mid, so Ivy's in a world of trouble if he swings too wide here.
Oh, he's going to be completely overwhelmed. Unable to find even
Triple
real
swing.
significant damage. Shield's still going to be burned, but Dombi sliding forward will be able to at least trade it back as Baby Bay does get taken out of the equation. But again, that
Bro, what is Francis doing?
Stuck at 45.
You just
Francis to boot, so now player advantage in the hands of G2. Flash not going to be
it
connected.
looked like he jumped straight into them.
The heals quickly come in from Trent.
All right, 4v3.
Getting taken. Dombi now pushed back to 100. RB just on the other side of this smoke, but it's going to be Jogamo finding Dombi through it, cleaning him up. The push coming in. RB
He gets
for a
the
little bit more, but Trent's got the
oh,
classic drawn out. The right click is there, and
the
G2
right click.
will take both pistols on Sunset to move up 8-5.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing that Nongshim's still a little uncomfortable on this map, and in particular, I'm thinking about two fights that happened. It's Ivy in mid, who's kind of swinging to get info, and
You know, something I realized is that I think G2, they're really successful in the Teo meta, and why Trent was like one of their MVPs at the time. It was just because like most of the time Teo's playing post plant. So in post plant situations you want the Teo to be alive. And so while sometimes yes you have to be put in first engagements, Trent is the last person alive. And so that's where he's like in a position to thrive, to not only be able to win the round with util, but also like with his gunplay. And so I think that's why there's not as much form, as like Trent hasn't been put on like has like pretty much like been a star since then. He's just kind of been like a really good role player for G2, but he hasn't been like the star of G2 since then, just because he has to adapt from that meta and be more of a supportive player, especially since he's like the main initiator now. Whereas Jonah P could also play the breach and was also the second initiator whenever they did play that.
Will now break, swing in the corner, and Leaf's got them both outdone. So 2 casualties. They end up saving it quite a bit, so 3 players keep their weapons over into the bonus.
Yeah, that's totally fine for G2. You come out of that relatively okay. Yeah, you lose a couple guns, but whatever. I don't think anybody else even took armor damage. So that's a pretty healthy bonus that you're going to be situated with. Leaf even going to go for the judge. Carry those 2 Spectres in the Outlaw over, and 2 players on Nongshim aren't even going to be able to afford the full armor. That's one of them's Dombi. So a Baby Bay can hit a banger on an entry maybe, but right now not going to be given the opportunity and just shuts down RB.
Oh, well, Francis
Jesus. Hey, that's what happens to me in ranked.
Trying to hold this market door down. Meanwhile, Francis has found another Valorant dead atop of mid, and Dombi just quickly slides in, takes Trent's life as well.
Like, it's so crazy how So crazy how like you'll shoot in the middle of your TP,
guarantees that he'll
you
have
die.
the res going into the next round. This would take some serious work though. Try to get a clutch materialized from this position.
Well, given a chance, they're just trying to figure out where the hell he went, and I think Ivy's finally kind of pieced it together. Must be holding somewhere in the vicinity of spawn or something.
Giving him some weapon
Leaf
opportunities.
is just gonna hold spawn, thinking they're gonna run out.
Trent had died just around this corner.
Yep.
Regardless, looks like Leaf is just going to try to play this one for exits. Question is, does Ivy give it to him? The answer is no, but Francis will. Swings in.
Just gave him ult for free.
Shot from him, but got not to be carried over. It's just a judge, so nothing to really get stressed about here for G2. Nongshim Red Force still eating quite a bit of damage to try to get this anti-bonus over the line.
Yeah, exactly. Again, having those half armor is something that...
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Even in the previous
when I was saying...
that outlaw being
it literally shows him already back on top of the box, and he's dead. It's like he takes the bullet, TPs, it's standing for a second, and then dies. It's just an odd thing.
This adds just more value that you're getting out of the chamber on this map. Trent, well, not too bad. A little bit of armor damage, a little bit of health. Nothing to be too concerned about. Nongshim, again, really prioritizing mid control. I mean, you see the differences in these comps and how they have to be piloted. G2 can bully the extremities, and they know it because they have that Sky. Whereas...
Alright, so Nongshim, their objective is... mainly mid control.
Extra opportunities to take those contact bites.
Cover going out.
Really slowed down the round though.
They know the Sage usually can wall off either of the chokes. Usually the Sage will play towards A and just wall off. I mean, at least that's what Nongshim did.
This angle. Well, it'll have to just be a 3-2-1 go, push into market. Try to shut this down and slide in. Somehow Valen doesn't manage to find that shot.
Line of sight, Lee, straight.
Able to connect with that, but the Neon comes out on top.
Lee slid
backpedal away as
right towards him.
Gets taken. Flash over to the corner. RB not quite getting blinded up. He's still able to find Jogamo.
That side was crazy.
Continues with that player advantage. The res is going to be committed in. Leaf immediately drawing down. Is able to find X-Ross. Hunter Sphere going to be set from Francis, but everyone scatters to the wind. Avoids those bursts of damage. They'll have 4 players to try to go for the retake. Some shots exchanged. The flash not quite connecting. Ivy is tucked into the corner. The wall will fall, and Jogamo gets the better of it.
3v2.
Tap to the defuse. Jogamo now finding Francis. It's all down to down B, and Baby Bay will be able to pick him
go
in
to map
pieces.
3.
Double digits found for G2. As Nongshim struggling on this attack.
Yeah, this is really tough stuff. You know, you get this early kill, and then even you're able to get Jogamo taken down off the slide, but the res, and Leaf plays ahead of it, expecting a peek from a player of Nongshim, and he's able to get the res and protect it. That's so hard to do sometimes as a Sage. He knocks it out of the park, sets them up for that extra advantage. Finally a timeout.
Yeah, first one. They'll look to try to right this ship, but 4 rounds down. Feels like Nongshim not having a great grasp of how to try to pilot things. Just generally on this map. I mean, a lot of the rounds that you're able to find from the defender side just boil down to Ivy going nuclear.
Right. No, I mean, again, honestly, outside of those rounds, this has been G2 all the way. They have been just a step ahead all throughout Sunset. You can see why they're very comfortable to pick this. I mean, you know, coming into this event, a couple of the maps that you're probably really keying in on are Sunset and Fracture, the ones that a lot of teams tend to avoid. I mean, throughout most of the day today, you're seeing Lotus, Ascent, Haven, Split. And we will see Split later. I'm happy about that. Don't get me wrong. The last time these two teams played on Split, it went to overtime, and it was map 3. We can only hope, but that being said, you know, having a pocket pick like a Sunset, like a Fracture, gives you such a huge advantage that maybe if you do have a weaker map like a Breeze or something that your opponents can lean into, you're able to at least force out that decider.
Wall sent at main here on a timing. 2 weapons into this one for Nongshim.
Nongshim's so keen to get a player tucked up in mid into that top left corner. Again, this time it's Ivy. And sure, it gives you a little bit of info. I mean, you're able to probably identify that that trademark is around the corner in market, but being able to capitalize off of it, they really haven't been able to. I think it's something that G2 is probably going to be pretty aware of, I would suspect, but we'll see. Tag on the drone to the wall there, so Leaf doesn't stick around, but nobody really accelerating.
But with that Trailblazer leading out through B main, this is allowed for Jogamo to start scaling forward, so he's going to have a faster rotation around the back. Granted, yes, Tripwire for the moment still going to be there, but Ivy potentially going to be caught on the timing. No, it's going to be Leaf at the same time, though. Back over towards the site, is gunning down 2. Ivy tucked into this position. Leaf finds a third. He's going to try to play this patiently.
He's going to get 2.
Just looks over to the side, which he now will. He will quickly shut down the enemy cipher, and that leaves now Dambi alone in a 1v4. Plant onto the corner, the wall now falling, the flash connecting, and Leaf is there to collect it. A 4K form, an 11th round for G2. Split is looking all but guaranteed.
Another phenomenal round from Leaf. Saw it on the res where he's able to cover it and really set that retake up for success. But here, it's just shutting down the huge push. That's the 4-player push that he's facing there. Yes, he's got some help from Valen, but he gets the 2 kills. And that means that Ivy can't go for plan A, which was to wrap into back alley. He didn't want to go into Link because he expected that that should be able to be cleared by his teammates, or maybe somebody gets flushed into him when they're not ready. But there's discipline here from Leaf and Valen. They don't move a muscle. They don't give Ivy that opportunity until it's too late, until the rest of G2 is already rotated in through top mid. Heroic efforts from tremendous player in Leaf. Really just thwarts Nongshim's plans all across the board. And at Nongshim, they're so nervous about some kind of trap play, some kind of reactive flash or neon stun could be waiting for them, or maybe just a tight angle being held by Baby Bay with that outlaw.
Oh, Jogamo not going to be able to find that timing, but here's that jump from Francis, and he is not going to be ready for this forward position. Even though the tripwire's comparatively shallow. None the wiser, but same could be said about Leaf.
Ivy again. Ivy just has a good timing.
The ping reveal, Valen's position
now
going to
guys, come on, I'm having a good map.
Keep his eyes trained towards sight, so Ivy can slot in from behind. Comes away with that elimination. The repace forward, tries to take the fight, expecting the Jogamo's going to go past him, but Jogamo plants his feet right up in front. Ivy's unable to clean up Trent fast enough, so now a 3v3.
Hopped too early.
In a very much win round for Nongshim. Fastlane over to the side with Paranoia, going to be out in response from RB to try to slow them up. He finds the first with Trent quickly.
Damn, radar moment.
2v2 now. A round where Nongshim need to win it, and
they both have ult, but
the back of this just to try to steady the economy. Swing in, Baby Bay has the shutdown onto the first.
He just plays time.
The defuse not held to half. X-Ross aware of this. Baby Bay will rip everything out of their grasp, but cannot take the round, cannot take G2 up
Does
to 12.
it survive? Yes.
Leaving narrowly escapes. And Nongshim hold on by a thread, denying that map point.
But it's Ivy again. He just, this time, a little bit pacier with this lurk up through mid, catches Leaf off guard. That allows the neural theft to be invested. And he's trying to use the Seekers against G2 there. Knows that after he clears the first, the second 2 aren't locked into him. But
94.5.
regardless,
call us and share your story for a chance to win.
Chance to win what?
Not sure.
Yeah, they didn't.
What did you want? What do you want to win?
A car would be good, I suppose.
Yeah? You already have a car. What are you're greedy.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, what about second car?
I don't have a car. Can I have your car?
Sure.
Sweet.
Well, for now, Similar scenes here from Nongshim, just keeping everybody stacked over onto the A side of the map. Ivy this time, however, exploration up into B main.
High-low could be really annoying.
Oh, they're going to go for the push now. The drone going to be coming out, and Jogamo wanted to try to get this punish here, but Downby just slides across. Smooth Criminal with a stinger is able to find that kill. Baby Bay now making his exit right before he would have had contact on Ivy. Spots him out, and the second shot will be able to take down the enemy Cypher. Coming with the overdrive, trying to push forward.
They're just holding. They're just holding.
With the punish. Shuts down 3.
I just hold.
And G2 now, one more round to go to push us the distance and take this series over to Split.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have so many tools in your back pocket here as G2. Even if you lose Jogamo on that initial attempt, the ability to fall back and just hold the line again, double up for G2, and they're able to find a huge multi-kill. That time it was Trent. Nongshim gonna try one more time out. This one better be a damn good one, because you need 5 in a row just to tie it.
And you're scraping the bottom of the barrel at the moment. You look at the cash here, there's not really much to speak of for Nongshim. Bankrupted by G2. They've only been able to find the 2 rounds in this half.
Well,
Why are they just going to be looking at, Stinger, Sheriffs? That's about it.
Yeah, it is less than ideal, to say the least. Silkanon have to come up with something incredible. I don't know. There's some individual things they can do. I think maybe some more mid-explorations are good, but I think G2's been pretty able to well identify that Nongshim doesn't feel comfortable to hold B. None of their post plants over there have worked, so it kind of has to be A. And so, if that's the case, then you just throw that strong side player over there, try to hold the line, and it's worked pretty damn well. And again, all you have is the paranoia really to clear some of those angles in the relay bolt. You can wait those out or bait those out. Round's pretty much yours.
And Baby's going to be so favored here.
Whoa.
Okay, shot not going to register, but Stinger at that range also not going to be able to find too much damage. He's got 2 sources of healing to put him back up to full. And Jogamo, okay, that's out of timing. Going to be able to find RB. He wants to end this one. As Leaf, Johnny on the spot is ready for the punish. Jogamo the repeat takes down X-Ross. And the wheels have well and truly come off as Jogamo looking for an ace of his own. But Valen will say, let's speed it up. Let's get into map 3. 13-7 Sunset. It's a dominant display in the hands of G2 Esports. And once again, they will square off against Nongshim. A final map, a 3rd map in a series on Split.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be so thrilled here to see this from G2. Going back to some of their comfort agents. Really like the theory. You don't see a lot of Sky on Sunset. I felt like that had a ton of impact here. Suits the Neon really well on this map. Able to tee up Jogamo, who was really, really impactful. Everybody had their moments, it felt like, for G2. Kind of what you want from this team. Those well-coordinated, well-thought-out, well-executed efforts.
Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that Jogamo might just slightly be a better Neon compared to me. There's a lot to work on when it comes down to that breeze. And Jogamo looking good, alive and well. But let's go ahead and send it back over to the analyst desk to break down Sunset.
Thank you very much, Achilleos. I agree. Jogamo on the Neon might be a little bit better, as it was a great showing there by G2. They get the job done against the Noodle Boys here and tie up 1-1. Nongshim Red Force and G2, 2 of the great squads across the world going head-to-head here on a final map number 3 as we welcome back Kakuka and Big Time.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it just shows the power of having a strong Sunset here in this tournament so far. It hasn't been in the pool. Now it's come back. I think they caught Nongshim underprepared on this map, and G2 clearly had it down. It looked very, very strong from them. I think even the scoreline is quite tight, quite kind to Nongshim. You go 7-5. Wow. Oh, that was, maybe it was good for G2. And then you go, oh, but they got pistol and bonus. And you go, oh, well, maybe Nongshim were good. And then you go, Ivy single-handedly won 3 of those rounds. And you go, okay, maybe G2 are actually better than the score looks here.
Being realistic about Sunset, the first rounds are always going to be a surprise. If you have those set strats, like we were seeing Valley, like reading the papers, being like, oh, this, like this is what we can, how we can get the most out of them, and it absolutely worked. And especially when we turned into that second half, when we speak about that double Sentinel and the way that they were playing it, you have Sage on one side, Chamber on the other, and they're going to be an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. And if on top of that, you add in a Jogemo that every single round is in a different part of the map, putting pressure onto you, and it's now on a duelist, so he will come and fight you. I'm sorry, but that means we're going to split.
Yep, it does indeed mean that one. And the good thing for G2, they were never in doubt in this one. Ahead in the first half and then kind of sped away in the second. Yeah. And that's still despite the fact that there were many big moments here for Nongshim, kind of like tournament highlight moments here for Ivy on the Cypher.
I mean, Ivy's an amazing player. He's so comfortable on these traditional Sentinel roles, especially this Cypher. Now, do I think Cypher is the best in slot here on Sunset? Probably not, but is it the best for Ivy? It very well might be. He was putting up, you know, a great show, that 1v3 as well. It's just, it's insane the stuff he's able to do, but the problem is it's too little too late. It's not enough. You can't only rely on these individual moments. It does feel like they need more time on this map. They need to get more drilled in the macro and get familiar with it again, because G2 just leaps and bounds ahead in my mind.
Something that I was talking about before we jumped into Sunset, and something that also a paper thing just highlighted, is how Trent was going to mix with Jogemo to make this situations so favor for themselves. And Trent had an amazing map. We've seen a Sky resurgence thanks to the later buffs that we've seen from the agents. So it is definitely something to take into account when you go into a map like that, and you're going to be pairing it with a Neon. It looks very, very good when you're thinking that if that is going to be your only information, considering that you have those two Sentinels, you have to go with him.
A brutal kind of run here on the opposite side for Nongshim Red Force. RB, 7-20. I know that's a little tough when you're playing Caboose there, but just being -13 is a little tough, given the fact that Ivy was popping off on, as you said, not best in slot, but a team that can go ahead and bounce back. The resilience of this Nongshim Red Force squad can't be understated big time.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like they can do it. Split is a map where they've been perfectly fine on. We saw it from them over in the qualifiers. Running that double duelist, Danby sticking with that Neon, and it was X-Ross on the Raze there to help back him up. And I think that is also a pretty solid map for them, but it's also not terrible for G2.
No, absolutely not. I think that I like the fact that we have each team wins their mapping. This is kind of like the ideal form that you will get to in a playoffs, where you have your map, which is super strong. You know that you're going to go to an opponent that will be in that form, so they will win their map. And this should be the biggest clash of them all, because all the worrying signs that we could have seen on that first map, and we were like, oh, Jog and oh, Dre, like, baby, why are you doing this, and that? We're gone out the window thanks to the map too. Leaf also brilliant on that Sage. It's absolutely everywhere on the map.
Yeah, I know. Again, everyone from G2 stepping up. That is what you want to see from a team that have stars all around. Really, everyone can play the role players, but then have the pop-off moments. Almost the ace that we saw at the end till Valorant stole that one away. And on the opposite side, in terms of the groups, Gentlemates was the one that took out XLG. And so...
EMEA.
I mean, EMEA doing pretty well.
According to
so
Athena,
far.
we're the worst region. We'll have some words.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes up for the non-EMEA regions, as G2 and Nongshim Red Force will battle it out on that map 3 after this short break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching EWC 2026 Valorant.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Paris for EWC 2026 Valorant, and we are going to map number 3 between the champions of Americas and the earlier kickoff champions of Pacific. It's G2 versus Nongshim Red Force 1-1. Digon here alongside Kukuka and Big Time. And as we said to it, let's set the stakes here. We know that G2 is going to take a little bit of time to set up on stage. Nongshim are now just coming on out. What do you want to see out of these squads?
I mean, I want to see Nongshim get explosive again. That's what I feel like they got tampered here a little bit. They feel a lot slower. I mean, I feel like G2 were able to work the map around them far too easily. Nongshim are at their best when they're in your face. Dambi needs to go forward with the support of the team. I don't want to see any big, deep rotates round spawn. No, forward, boys. I want to see that double duelist that we saw from them in the qualifier. It was very effective there, so I just think they got to lean back into their strengths for me for Nongshim.
And if you are a G2 fan, you want quite the opposite, right? The same way that Nongshim runs that double duelist, we're going to full control for the side of G2. Astra, Viper, Vice, like literally everything to stop them. We always, when we talk about the meta, we talk about being one step ahead. And if you really think that it's tilted in that direction, if you can find a very strong counter to it, you should be, in theory, favored. It looked very good when they were playing with the double Sentinel here on Sunset, and that is something that they have to find a way to translate onto Split. Watch out, because obviously the chokes are much smaller, and many things can go wrong.
Baby Bay on Neon. Yes, no?
No, that's one of the things that
Let's not. Let's not.
No, I think I want to see Jogamo stick with that duelist. I think he can play the Neon. You also know he can play that Raze really well.
Raze, very much so here on Split, yeah.
But I think on the side of G2, I totally agree with you. I want to see control. I want to see Leaf take over that Viper. I want to see maybe a Vice with that. You know, there's... The whole objective for this is G2 need to slow down Nongshim. Nongshim need to not allow themselves to be slowed down.
The best thing that could happen for them is trying to isolate those kills, right? When we're speaking about slowing them down, it's more so of like, one by one, you know? One by one, get onto the side. And if you can shut down Dambi, probably one of the reasons why he swapped from the Neon in the first place, the fact that he was not the one being isolated. They also have Ivy playing absolutely brilliant, so it's definitely not going to be easy for the side of G2. The resurgence, though, of Jogamo. In the first match, Dambi diffed on him, like, made absolutely no sense. But if he's on a duelist, he does have a lot more freedom. And also with the compositions playing more around him instead of him helping the rest of the team, it just works better.
I think it's one of those selfless things, right? You've got such a star and he wants to try and lift the rest of the team on up, but really, the team needs you. You be the guy. It's okay that you're the guy. That's like a whole thing in Korea here and in the Pacific as well.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think this is a meta that's centered around those duelists, right? They're probably the strongest that they've ever been right now. So it's all about enabling them. That's one thing Nongshim historically have been able to do brilliantly, and that's why they could lift that trophy over in Santiago. So I want to see both teams be able to emulate that.
And let's speak a little bit about the repetitions. Yes, you were saying that in the qualifier, prior, they were playing with that double duelist with the Neon and the Race for the side of Nongshim. But when we talk about reps, G2 is on the lead by a lot, especially I think that they played it at least 3 weeks during the regular season, a couple of times in playoffs, and of course, they're in Masters London. There is a lot of show and there is a lot of tape, and this is the only match that you know for sure your opponent before coming into the tournament. So if any preparation has been done, it has to be for this match.
Yeah, very much so. We got the Aiden Select coming in now. Baby Bay back on that duelist.
Oh.
He's on the waylay. This is not what I expected to see from them, but I can see where they're coming from. On the side of Nongshim, it's not that Raze. They're going back to the Phoenix from X-Ross that we saw back on Breeze. We know that
okay, you're finally back in the game.
So here's the thing, right? Bar the trend being on the sky would literally worked very well on Sunset, so why not?
Yeah.
They played something similar like this before with Baby Bay on the waylay, but Jogamo was playing on the Neon. Maybe he feels more comfortable in the race, and after the nerf and everything, I think the Jogamo is a brilliant race. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I think for
Double
both of these teams, there is
duelist.
a ton of stopping power here. It's
Francis
only
up
really
fade.
going to be that Viper, maybe
Then
a
they
paranoia.
usually
So I think it's
Jogamo.
gonna
Yep,
get
the same
explosive
comp
here
as
on
us
Split.
Yeah,
mentioned
whether it
earlier.
goes slow or fast, it's
They
going
can't
to be
play Split,
loud
and they've
as
been
we've
playing
got
this
the two squads
waylay.
battling it out for that victory and the right to play gentle mates later on in the group stage. G2 and Nongshim Red Force 1-1 into our final map, number 3. Let's send it on over to Achilleos and Paper Thin.
It all comes down to this, a split to decide it between these two teams yet again. Will this map be a repeat of Masters Santiago? Will it go to overtime? Will it go Nongshim's way? These are the questions that we are asking that can only be answered by these squads once they get into the lobby itself. Baby Bay back onto that duelist duty with the waylay coming through a bit more comfortable for him. So expecting to see some hefty impact from him.
Yeah, no, you need him to kind of come alive. He was one of the ones, along with Jogamo, on those double duelists that struggled against Nongshim on Split last time. -4 respectively in the KD column for both of them at Master Santiago.
Alright.
Meanwhile,
So
Domby and
G2 on the
Francis
attack
getting the
side.
better of them overall.
I think they need at least
setup for both squads in a lot of
7.
ways. I mean, you got X-Ross on the duelist now, Francis over on the Fade. So they're going to swap roles. It'll be Ivy on that Viper again. RB maintains the Omen. Valen will not be piloting the Astro with this comp. He's going to move over to the Omen. Trent switches off of Fade, goes into Sky. Again, I'm comparing this to the last time these two teams faced off. So yes, it went to OT, but here
Alright.
feels like it just comes down to
7 is
skill,
most
firepower,
reasonable.
one of those things, and there
But
you go.
it's pretty fun.
With that sheriff at hand, able to take off RB's head very swiftly as Baby Bay goes diving into the back of sight. No one home though. Nongshim were heavily stacking more towards the enemy
Oh,
side
they
of the
thought
map.
they were gonna flood out of
Ball
heaven.
going to be set, but Domby eating the full brunt of that one. Now we'll try to go for the peak, but Leaf has him dead. Just banged through the box. X-Ross gone as well, and that leaves just Ivy and Francis to try to peel back anything they can get in
No
a 2v5,
Prowler.
but it feels like
We not.
G2
We're gonna hold the Prowler till next
gonna
round.
have a third pistol win in a row from Sunset now in a split. America squad very much waking up after getting beat on Breeze. Swing in, Ivy. Good for the one, but nothing more. Not much of a dent.
Solid
put
pistol.
into G2 here as they take the opening pistol.
Yeah, again, a lot of sparse fights that, normally you're not even really trying to take fights in some of these positions necessarily, but because you get one tapped off the rip, and then you kind of screw up a Phoenix curveball that leaves Domby not able to scale the space and maybe get in a little bit quicker and deeper like you'd hope. Things just aren't going so good. For Nongshim there, that one looked a little bit not so well rehearsed in some ways, whereas G2 looking very, very sharp again, finding themselves their third pistol in a row. And it's a couple Spectres, Bulldog, Baby Bay with just a Bandit, Leaf with just a Ghost. So this is a round where you're very content to lose 2 players, assuming you can get all 3 guns carried over. Now, so far, Nongshim had gamble stacked more or less on the other side of the map, or at least willingly gave up the long B space. Do have a late lurk here from Leaf to try to deny any attempt to just die to the spike or thwart this retake, and here they go.
Paranoia not going to be connecting on anyone there. Swing out over the Raptors, curveball forward into the smoke. Exros eventually going to be able to find that kill on a Valen. Trent going to take it down as well. Nongshim already on for the defuse. Downbeat just bouncing back into the smoke, completely ignoring these players here in Garage. Baby Bay will be able to find one. Defuse going to be interrupted, but Ivy having a kill leap, having to reload. And
what a crazy end.
Right
or Anika round.
1-1.
Not the fan.
Okay. Take it all back. That looked really well rehearsed. That was some crazy good thought.
This time they did kind of split some out of CT and some out of heaven. Let's look at this replay.
The can that was G2's post
If they show it, do they show it?
And then it's just Dombey doing what he does best.
Oops.
Running at you. Just a classic.
No replay? Are we gonna get a replay?
He's getting the job done.
No replay.
Doesn't matter, seemingly, how much you nerf the agent, you nerf the shotguns. Dombey is still really, really good.
Oh, yeah. G2 now looking to try to replicate some of that magic we just saw. They do have a Vandal and a Sheriff behind this. Saturate going to be connecting on the Dombey, but no real way to try to push off of that one, nor is there anyone behind it. It's an attempt at a bit of a fake here, if not just for a pick. Baby Bay comes away empty-handed. Meanwhile, push up into Mail. Exros going to be able to find the 2 kills here. The Paranoia just far too late from Valen to escort these players in safely. Leaf dead. Vandal can be collected in IV. Okay, does register that, but still is going to be taken down. Valen.
Okay, Baby Bay does have space.
Shout, Baby Bay with this bandit.
Now you got to be
working his way through vents.
Real careful.
Spike is down in Mail.
Potentially scary, especially with so much time left on the clock. Baby Bay all the way in spawn.
There's a world where this can get away from them. Spot out. Exros looking to hold his own, and he shouts.
Round is over.
Kill found, and it looks like RB with the right read, staring exactly where he needs to, but not quite hitting the shots that he needs to. So this still ends up being very costly for Nongshim, but as the swing comes in, Downbeat will be able to find the kill, gets the weapon upgrade off the Spectre, and Nongshim will establish a 1-round lead.
It gets a little too uncomfortable for Nongshim after just a really great hold from Exros. Just going to stand there. Gets the first cleanly, second to follow up, but that dropped gun in mid causes a whole bunch of problems because they really don't want to fork that over. Don't want to give them any opportunities in a post plant to dig in. Even those are good read from RB. He's not really able to be sharp with the shots where Baby Bay was. Dive in. Nobody home from Nongshim.
Oh, counter spam though. Look at Baby Bay's health. Trent can get some healing through. Tag to 16, so frankly, he's going to be lucky to be alive. Boombot with no scout. This gives them some pause. Dombey, ooh, elbow showing. It's going to be Jogamo, the one to eat some damage, though.
I think Dombey's a little lucky that he didn't take a lot more damage there. He gave Jog a pretty good opportunity on that angle, but...
Oh no. Look at this. Speaking of opportunity, but no, it's absolutely squandered. Some damage found, yes, and Ivy will be able to find Jaw on the back end. The real fortunate part about that for Nongshim at the end is that Trent can't heal himself back up. He should have had him absolutely dead. Ramp now going to be taken. They have firm control here for G2. 40 seconds remaining, can still go for a pivot as well if they want.
Well, they've conceded some of this space over towards top A, and...
Oh, hello.
Leaf in trouble. Oh, gets around the corner, but getting spammed through.
Pushed out a little bit more into the open. Run it back now, going to be popped. Exros looking for that moment to strike, and he has been able to find it. Baby Bay going to be taken down. Francis out from Alley. Intercepting Trent, putting the spike down on the floor. Tries to go with the wide swing, but there's 2 players on the opposite side. As Valen will fall, it is now down to Leaf. Blazewall does allow for him to recollect this spike. Reads the rewrap from Ivy. Has the headshot. But Leaf is running out of time. He has to commit to this, and it's going to be in the open.
Plan in the open.
I think he's got it by about 0.05. He'll be able to get that one in play. The way that Exros pulls back from that angle, I think he thought that the time was gone, but now he has to try to play this out in a 1v1.
This is not going to be easy. Still one curveball in the mix.
But it's going to be Exros. able to find
X-Cross
that
just
third.
too good.
Spare their blushes. But damn, how close was that? Leaf put him through the ringer, but it's still going to be Nongshim maintaining and now stretching that lead.
Well, we've been talking a lot today about Ivy, but here on Split, it's been X-Ross who's been instrumental for Nongshim. Able to hold the line in a couple different important moments after some mechanical whoopsies. Don't like that wide swing from Francis after he gets that first kill. Ivy just not even considering that Leaf could have peeled back there. I think they thought when they heard that tap that he's already on the other side of that box going for the default plant, but was not the case at all. Leaf almost works a miracle. Trent, quick clear the haunt. The flash out just to make sure nobody's trying to scale through mid. Seen this a couple times from Nongshim, so have to be pretty cautious about that. Paranoia not going to be used just yet. Oh boy.
P again on Struggle Street, and Baby on the dive forward will be able to catch him. That's going to be a weapon likely able to be recovered, but X-Ross will be able to shut down Juggernaut. Leaf now going to be found in mid. X-Ross with the reposition, but Valen with the read. Spams out the Stinger, able to connect. As the smoke will fall, Baby Bay here out in front, but Francis hits the transfer.
Wow.
Barely scraping by with any health. And Valen at that range. The Stinger got in his own right, still not going to be able to find that kill, so will end up falling. As Nongshim continuing to rack up these wins.
Still, again, some individual mistakes that are almost costing Nongshim big time, and G2 able to find some good timings to at least do damage, but they can't convert enough because somebody steps up in the back line of Nongshim. And again, it's what makes this team so fearsome, is you have a lot of really, really talented players behind those duelists. Francis and Ivy, incredible when they're on. There's been a little bit of shakiness here and there, but right there, Francis able to bounce back after a rough previous round. Trent gets lit the heck up. Ivy dead. Look at Leaf. He's all the way over on A.
Lays it up. It's just a decay. So it sees grabbing him in position. And now right as rain, like you said. Good kill from Leaf as Dombey trying to isolate. Reads Valen's reposition, but can't do anything about it. And even if he had, Leaf would have been right there. Get that trade back into their favor. Flash sent. Side plant now. Going for safety. Smoke on the main, but Valen still able to play in front of that one. X-Ross strafing forward. Leaf looking for the immediate challenge. Molly just going to be lobbed into the corner. That can be avoided. It's all a quick consideration on that pit, but it looks like Leaf just going to be opting to try to hold that one for now. As yes, they will be able to overwhelm them and whittle this down to just Francis remaining. Swing out. Francis good for one, but nothing more. G2 now able to rally back. Get themselves a second round win.
Yeah, this is great work again by Leaf. Just has some great reads at times. I mean, I was so impressed with his Sage play on Sunset here on the Viper. Gets that opening kill and then immediately starts scaling forward and just goes, guys, it's open. They're not going to be able to get here in time. We have a huge advantage, and the best part about that.
All right, so Nongshim have the read. They've been contesting mid, so they're probably gonna pop mid with the Fade Seas.
Seekers to really confirm.
Oh no, they're just gonna walk out 4-1.
Whoop, okay.
Break up that, the conversion path's gonna be sent.
All right,
to be caught, trying to tuck back behind this
Ivy gets out.
They eventually will find him.
But there's a 4 flank. They get a pick before they realize. Oh wow, what a read.
Baby Bay gonna be taking that first contact as RP will be able to take him down.
X-Cross.
Wins the fight versus Valorant.
It's a somewhat worthless Viper's pit. Because it's planted for it. Or well, the ult is for CT. Yep.
Shuts it down, drops the pit.
Wow, what a play. They knew they had Viper ult. I mean, you can't really...
Both of these maps where the team comes out swinging. They take that, they allow for their opponents to take that one step forward, and then they shove them back by 3.
Can't really plan for how they're going to Viper ult, but it ended up benefiting them.
But that's a huge win there off the rip of his ult from X-Ross. The fact that he's able to get that opening duel, allows him to keep creating space, and all of a sudden, that pit that should be a safety net for you becomes a prison. And they just get absolutely bullied out of it.
No ults
that was
for G2.
Electric coordination.
They're just walking out of mid again.
Confirmed here in the mid, Valorant able to backpedal. Dodging any punish. But now Nongshim quickly making the call to try to pivot across towards this A site.
Baby entry.
Watch confirms that no one's home. Pain shell up to heaven as well.
Number an elbow. Chugmo up heaven.
Themselves into fairly
There's the
entrenched
eco.
Positions. And they hold it with the weaker buy. Jogamo going to be forced having to drop back, but Sun is out of both of these players. Jogamo comes out on top. Link is found too. Baby gets one as well. And now suddenly in the blink of an eye, it is just Ivy. Finds the first, but needs so much more.
So far away.
Re-clear into heaven, and he will just abandon the hope of a clutch. Will back away, and G2 will find a massive, monstrous round win to get up to 3.
Yeah, they're able to just punch right back. I mean, this time, Nongshim tries to go for a more spread retake, trying to clear some space over at the bottom of the ramp, and Leaf tucked in, having none of it. He got 2 kills there, and it's just a great coordination with the utility. The flash was in there, the saturate, everything you needed from G2 was perfectly placed. It's absolutely lights out.
Oh, that's crazy.
Carrying weapons in.
I kind of need to see if G2 lose, they'll play XOG.
To win out that fight,
and
stay
that's a litmus test to see how good G2 is. Did they improve?
A little bit more
Was it the
thoughtful on those retakes on A if you're Nongshim, but G2 just give them enough time. So quick. Get into those well-disciplined post plants where they know what they need to do. Their protocols, you know, are going to be very well drilled. Francis goes for the C's there. Does catch on to Baby Bay, but no punish available.
Hey, not running a raise.
They're going to fight out of mid.
Been expended. Some pot shots attempted through this Viper wall in mid, but otherwise nothing to be found. No one taking a lick of damage on either side.
See how hungry Nongshim is to try to put the pressure onto G2, but G2 gonna match. Actually overstack here. Francis has to start backpedaling.
Baby Bay can push this issue because he has that refract available, but now we'll just let that one expire. G2 gets a very aggressive push up in towards this B heaven. Once again, so much util, so many bullets expended from both sides, and no one has taken any damage. Just painting pictures around each other, and finally we'll have our first little bit there as Francis. Let's just end up eating 1 bullet. Meanwhile, the spike's starting to get ushered up into A main.
His Jog's already down to his last clip.
DP
check. What a time.
Jogamo with a backstab.
He literally
continuing to scale.
And then turned away.
Finds that elimination. Dombie here, though.
Dombie holding sight.
Has the overdrive, and the time has gone away from them. This has just been such a heavy investment.
They're both.
Up and over the top. Eventually, he's going to be able to
Were they
down,
both blinded?
It
took a fat minute. It's still possible.
Testing here, RG2, but they're getting away with it as RB finding Jogamo, able to win out that fight. But now he's got to do it all.
He gets Lee.
Swing out of the
Oh!
RB has had such a quiet
Bro,
performance.
what?
This whole series through.
Bro, this is why I love APAC.
I mean, there has been
Bro, just a dry swing out of a smoke, taking the timing and gets its spray transfer.
It's RB's turn. I thought this was curtains. I mean, you get the backstab, you get the sight, you get the clear.
I think Whaley was kind of
you
blinded.
Get the pit out of Ivy, you take him down. This looked like it could be a backbreaker for
Bro, he's 20 HP. Trent doesn't even shoot his gun.
That is one of his best, and we've seen a lot of good ones from him over the years.
Absolutely insane. That's one of those ones that, if you're G2 again, you're going to be kicking yourself so much over. More so than Ivy's clutches on Sunset. Can they recover from here? Nongshim now up to 6. The entry again. Attempted from Baby Bay. Has to take the refract out instantly. RB just ushered forward by the pain shell. Otherwise,
I love
worse for wear.
I love here for RB that he's like, I'm going to make sure that I have the paranoia in hand on this B execute this time. Because last time I got caught trying to swap and Baby Bay did me in. This time he plays it much more disciplined. Again, you clear that dog, but G2 is just sending that more to keep attention onto that side and to see if they can get an isolated fight. X-Ross is going to slide over. Ooh, that got dangerous.
Cross is still alive. RB still gets one. They clear rafters.
That fight from G2 might just be bearing fruit.
Classic.
2v4
or 2v3.
Back up towards full.
It's big. They're gonna fight.
High,
Bro, Domby is crazy.
For the transfer. Narrowly scrapes by. But Nongshim now
Let's slide out and gets two.
To balloon it up.
Yeah, God, again, another frustrating.
Bro, this is the thing with APAC. You just have to know they're gonna take their timings. They're gonna swing at us, so they're gonna slide at it.
A really well coordinated execute. Good crossfires.
Nobody's.
But this time it's Domby. Slides in, gets the 2K. Trent's trying to figure out where the hell he went. Can't lock on in time.
Just back-to-back rounds like that. Sure, this one a little less egregious compared to the previous, but you absolutely need to call this timeout now.
Yeah, you need to settle it down.
This has been slipping. You have to stop it.
I mean, at the very least, you got to find a way to take that confidence away from Nongshim and get in there as Josh and reinvigorate your team. Because those are two heartbreakers in a row where you had real shots to win around, put yourself in real good positions, made some nice adjustments there, you know, compared to previously for G2. They kind of outplayed RB again. I mean, they've been doing a great job on whoever it is, RB or Ivy or whoever's trying to hold that B main execute entrance. They have completely knocked it out of the park by smothering them out of rounds. You know, at least at the very worst, getting trades. But even thinking back all the way to the pistol where they just took RB out in the very first bullet.
I will say that
not going to be cleared this time. G2 just opts
I think the quality is high.
Trying to obscure numbers.
The quality of this game is high. It does seem like
Sees again connecting here on to Baby Babe.
Similar to their game in
you want to get that showstopper.
Santiago.
Some value. Trent maybe could just lead with the Seekers.
There.
I think the momentum is just leaning towards Nongshim just because of their
punish right behind the
play
Cavaliers.
style.
There we go.
There it is. 1-2. Prowler will be able to get the blind out though, and that showstopper not going to be finding a damn thing. France is going to have to just drop away on the rope.
Bro, what is that?
Extra scaling forward. It's going to be good for one. Strip will
Good
take it down, but
trade.
Baby Bay is there for the trade. Valen out from
Solo
Mirage,
swing.
able to find one. It's Francis completely saturated up, and Baby Bay is dropping off the box to
He
his
just
demise.
target locked.
Francis, however, will fall as Jogamo looks to spare their blushes. Just down B left in a 1v3. G2 should have this one wrapped up.
Would think this would be even more heartbreaking.
I think Baby Bay stays alive. If he dashes out, sees the player, then dashes
this last round to carry over these
away
weapons.
or behind the player.
Looking to make this a 7-5 half.
Did have to invest a lot of ults here, but I mean, I think that's exactly why Josh RT wanted to call that timeout, to make sure that this is a guaranteed round.
Yeah.
Knew how important it was, knew what they had in their investment. Wanted to get the most out of the portfolio, but it's going to be a lot of stingers here for Nongshim. So on top of getting that round, you also find Nongshim with no economy to speak of. X-Ross, the only one with a rifle, does have his ult as well. So run it back in play. You know, G2 very much worried that maybe there might be a set idea off the initial start of the round here to maybe try to get that run it back to find some value, but instead, Nongshim going to keep it close to the vest. They too, with just those stingers, want to tuck in and try to find those close quarters fights.
High-low setup at a ramp, but will be abandoned. Ivy just going to be left on his lonesome. Leaf scaling in that direction. Exos with that Phantom. Able to find Jogamo. There's a big punish as Leaf as well. Just caught going on a walkabout. Valorant now trying to TP into back of sight, but here's RB, shuts that down. The up and over, the plant on the feet, the flash is going to be good, and Baby Bay will be able to find it. Run it back immediately, eliminated. Trent snapping X-Ross back. Is the Molly going to be invested, disrupting the plant for now. It's over behind the box, the spike now in play. A player advantage here for Nongshim. With another gun recovered, now passed over into the hands of Dambi.
Just need Francis to maintain heaven control here. And
what a jiggle.
Shots out. Back pedal. Here from Valen, trying to get to a safer spot. It's going to be good for the one, but Ivy now with a third. The swarm out, and Baby Bay is looking for that transfer of his own, but X-Ross will deny.
Bro, Trent, I'm telling you, Trent is the key here.
Set themselves up with a 4-round
Trent gets a kill. They probably win that round.
It was a wild half, to say the least, and if not for the heroics of a couple players, once again, I find myself saying and believing that G2 should have a few more rounds, just like on Sunset.
They took the pistol, but then they dropped that anti-eco.
Right.
And it really starts to unravel from there.
I mean, the fact that you get 4 almost feels good in some ways and bad in others as G2, because, yeah, like you're talking about, you lose that eco, you lose a couple of those clutches, but despite all that, you're still very much in this map. And you would think that, you know, G2 should be pretty damn solid on their defender's side, but you never know. Nongshim, that's a team that, if their executes are on point, if their coordination is on point, sometimes if you don't have the perfect answers, it can be really tough. Now, I do like a few of the moments I saw with the Waylay and the Sky to really slow down some of those retakes. So you're gonna need a lot more of that here on this defender side as G2.
This is one of those moments where a team that normally is so very unflappable that is able to recover starts to have those doubts. You've been in this position before. Granted, you know, a very tense moment, an opportunity to qualify into a grand final. The last time they played against Nongshim Red Force, but you got to this split, and it got away from you. Having those thoughts seep back in, it could absolutely be their undoing.
The what ifs, absolutely.
G2 Faithful going to be looking and hoping, praying that they can get this pistol to open up their attacker side.
Well, and considering how well it's gone for America's, yeah, I know what you mean. But how well so far EWC has gone for America's against Pacific. I mean, you don't want to be the one left out of the party.
Well, for sure. All needs to start from here. See if they can get right back into this. Another pistol, not dropping the anti-eco. G2 will be off to the races. Exactly what the G2 fans want to be seeing. Shanks, if you haven't taken the jersey off yet, you better do so.
Yeah, just...
They need everything they can get.
Burn that thing, bro. In Nongshim just gonna sneak underneath their noses here. I mean, they have a good read there, but the saturate.
Dambi still going to be going for the side, trying to get that point-blank shot, but they'll get pushed over. Meanwhile,
Very
Joggo
good trades.
also 2 for 2. Is it else looks to settle, but Joggo is looking for a little bit more.
By
He absolutely
himself,
oversteps.
bro.
That's tough. Oh,
damage suffered as well as Valen down to 15.
With a bandit.
He's got to do everything, it feels like. Maybe if he causes enough of a distraction, kills a couple players. Valen could collect something, but Leaf, gun barrel, maybe not being registered there by Francis, but he'll just peek in, finds Valen, and it's instantaneous with the right click. The hopes start to fade even further as Nongshim get themselves their first pistol here on split, move up 9-4.
I'm already feeling a buy up here for G2. Sure. I think this is a great spot to grab some of those stingers and do what G2 does best. Put those to good use and catch your opponent maybe a little off guard. If they're not anticipating it, I guess they're not going to go for it. I would have loved to have seen it here.
From the defender side, it's always all the more risky. But I'm right there with you. I think that a curveball like that might just be enough to try to catch Nongshim off guard. Opt to go for the safer route.
Already Nongshim, it's a pretty good read on what's going on the map. And even though Ivy might drop this Marshall, but his whole plan here is to just look for a little contact.
Okay, well, Ivy not going to be able to steady that hip fire, so Jogamo, it's a weapon back, and with their teammate falling, all of Nongshim are going to look to cluster on this side of the map. G2, though, want to try to re-explore mid, so they will be backpedaling a bit, but they are still very clustered on A.
Timing of this. I thought for a second G2 was just going to hold the line on A, and Nongshim was going to walk into the beehive, but going to get stung just yet. Over towards A.
Empty side, the players now splitting, looking to re-clear through garage and B. The bad news about to be registered. Meanwhile, RB setting up a smoke, keeping eyes trained here towards the sewers position. The swing out, they will be able to mow them both down. Ethan Baby Bay now eliminated. I believe one of the bandits as well going to be lost. Valorant with a slow walk forward. Domby just jiggling on the corner, gets the spot. Takes the fight, wins it. Jogamo, how quick, how accurate can he be with this Marshall? Needs to be clean. No, the bandit instead. Will be able to take him down, but both have suffered damage. The time is starting to get away from them. This is really just a matter of can they find anything else. Jogamo needing to try to find something, but it's going to be RB with a 4K. This map is his. 10-4. Double digits now hit. Nongshim 3 rounds away from winning their opening series here at EWC.
I get a bit worried in the middle of this round for Nongshim, where off of losing Ivy, they might make the wrong read, but they actually take just long enough to pivot over to the A side that G2 instead thinks that they're going B for sure. Turns out to not be the case, but RB there, lucky to not take more damage, only down to 86 health in that 2K, even though it looked a little unsturdy. And it's Domby maybe off to the races. Valen trying to deny. Thought about the paranoia. They're just going to use the Prowler, and Nongshim didn't get the look that they liked. Ivy going to be identified. Baby Bay.
Able to get out of there. The saturate is in. Ivy.
He's not stunned anymore.
But meanwhile, Leaf back over in the mid, able to get rid of Domby. One of the big thorns in their side eliminated. RB still alive and well, though.
I even think Nongshim heard that.
Yeah,
they could isolate.
Looking on their flanks, so convinced that they can just keep their eyes forward. And X-Ross, my goodness.
What a bulldog, that's crazy.
Forward, doesn't have any util to try to go for the heal here. Well, RB just tucked in alongside the smoke. If he gets pushed,
just shoot, Valen. Just shoot.
Have him dead.
Just shoot, Valen. Shoot.
Gonna start to scale up, but hasn't quite gotten that spot out yet. Now will do so. Paranoia gonna be sent, but only connects onto the enemy Omen. Meanwhile, Jogamo.
Oh, he runs out.
But RB is already
thinks that they're rotating, but do they know about the flank?
But now turns off the angle. Valen gonna be able to find the one. Jogamo now backstabbing, cleans up the enemy Omen.
RB there tried to sell a fake rotate.
Jogamo gives noise.
Little did he know.
Doesn't know where Trent is. Francis can swing.
Oh! Francis just locks on. He's managed to isolate this down. A haunt.
Rose swings and flicks.
Second swing out.
Oh, that's big from Trent. But that kill from Francis. Oh, my God.
Again, it's so very close, but it will be G2 persevering for another round.
Yeah, this is a very tricky round to navigate for G2, and they do a pretty good job of it overall. Nongshim's trying to throw a lot of unusual ideas, and you have some, I guess I'll call them unfortunate moments where Ivy's able to get the kill onto the Baby Bay after being saturated. That right there, freaking nasty. But Trent's there with a steady pair of hands to make sure that no more damage is done. And the other thing I was going to point out earlier is the good news is a lot of those early kills for Nongshim went into RB's hands. So you don't have that run it back yet. You don't have one of those bigger ults that could be a real problem, whereas you have a showstopper with a weaker buy. So you've got a real chance as G2 to all of a sudden start gaining some momentum. Start turning the tables onto Nongshim. See if they can get it to go. We'll get some confirmation on that Prowler, and that means Nongshim, especially with that Boombot there, no way you're going into mid now.
Yeah, Saturate can be held as well. No contact off the Boombot, so BabyBay can retain that for the future.
Honestly, I'd love to see him run at A here.
Yeah, it's just going to be an exact and RB, likely to TP into the back of sight.
Exactly.
Okay, but no, a bit of a pump fake because they're going to rescale into mid.
And they didn't like the reaction. The delay there from the Viper felt a little too quick.
Paranoia going to be baited out for that Prowler. Francis is jumping all of the kit, but BabyBay going to be dead. Francis able to find him, leap now with the peek, gets the bad news. Everyone from Nongshim is right here at home on this site, and Leaf forcibly evacuated as Ivy gets the headshot. Joggermo now, all the more pressure on that showstopper to be able to deliver as Trent comes away with a second, gets it back into a 3v3, and suddenly G2 stocks looking a hell of a lot healthier.
I mean, this showstopper, you would think is good for at least one.
Needs to find him. Back up map. The spot out.
He missed.
Gonna be lobbed in, but
He
no.
missed.
Extros barely taking any damage. Francis just lingering in the
He
back.
missed.
Drives
That's
the knife into Allen.
crazy.
As Nongshim now up to 11. G2 trailing by 6.
Ooh, it took a while to get there, but eventually Nongshim's able to find that A execute that they were fishing for towards the beginning part of the round. Ivy again really clean, but then Trent answers back and you think there's hope. But there's that extra layer on the backside. The showstopper from Jog can't find success, even though he's got an opportunity. Exros gives him the chance. Exros challenges him. Still can't quite get it done. Now, another timeout has to be taken. D2 on the ropes. Bloodied and bruised. The KO punch seemingly in the windup for Nongshim. I don't know. It just seems like there's some good ideas from G2, but when it comes down to some of these late round micro executions, that's where they're getting beat. Like the individual kind of step up moments lean Nongshim's way more often than not.
And people call them hero plays, but the hero plays have to be allowed. You're not getting that shutdown if you're not denying it away from them. Nongshim, they're going to make those moments happen for themselves. Able to just have them materialize. That's exactly what G2 needs to do for themselves. A Thrifty here. Deny Nongshim from getting up to match point.
It's such a scary round. Is G2 obviously winning the Thrifty be amazing, but if you could get the Nightfall out here, or if you could get the run it back out from Exros, that's kind of a win too, because if they could keep both of those ults going into the decider, into the match point round, that sucks. Just to be completely honest.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so
blunt is better.
That's exactly it. I mean, I'm not the type to beat around the bush. Tell it to you straight. That's the paper thin guarantee.
So
things very quiet. Playing this very close to the vest. Our Nongshim not wanting to get caught off guard.
walk out of mid. We're leaving Jen alone.
So far in this series. We don't want to allow for it again. But what a punish from Dambi. Practice with those snipers paying dividends as Valen will get taken down.
Joggermo's trapped.
The Cade down around the corner. Swings out.
Oh, almost gets 2. Okay, good fights in mid until they both die.
As the dust will settle and it's just BabyBay allowed to recover some weapons here in mid. He has to be the one to get this over the line, to clutch up. to bail them out and deny this match point from going into Nongshim's hands.
The full kit to work with. There's an opportunity.
If Baby Bay wins this, I will do a handstand.
Easy to isolate, but hard to read where they're going to be coming from. First fight, first challenge will be RB. Now noting them saturate. Going to be chucked in. It's a quick exit, backpedaling over towards the sewer. Baby Bay able to find the one, but that costs him life. That costs him time. He just doesn't have enough of it. Tries to find the exits. Refract around the corner.
Ooh.
Nothing more.
Good thing I don't have to do a handstand.
That's the money for the buy, so we'll just go down. Could have just held on to it. But that is now the 12th round found for Nongshim.
Man, it's scary. Nice shot from Dombi. Dog able to at least get some value here. He hit. Nice little shot with that Sheriff. Baby Bay. Going to be one away from the convergent paths. Yeah, Trent does have his ult. Xros does have his. I mean, Nongshim didn't even consider saving their Nightfall. They just went for it. Baby Bay. Oh, that's a seize.
Oh,
it is, but it's
what
going
a
to be
good
covering fire. Able to find it. Tommy in the back, but Baby Bay rather is still going to fall as Francis. Makes it a 1-for-1.
Why does Baby Bay continue to fight? Fallon just bailed you out.
Oh, but that's kind of a weird angle to have that flash hit you. They're not going to be ready for him to be underneath.
Oh, they have no idea.
Storming his way forward with that ult. Paint Shell will be able to snap him back.
Ivy said, "Hey guys, I have sight. I have sight."
Meanwhile, Ivy looked all
but
the way
you guys just pause. Just pause.
Will be able to win out the fight.
Okay, they caught the lurk.
But still alive, still fighting here for G2.
Unbelievable awareness from Trent.
And Leaf is going to get the early info, which doesn't make sense. They caught the lurk.
Not sure if there's going to be a second layer on the approach from Sewers.
Knife
He's going
out.
to play this patiently. He is going to look to single-handedly bring this round to an end. Strikes out as Xros will fall. RB to just tuck into the corner. The spike, however, in his hands, needs to be rerouted. Goes for the elbow side plant. Seekers now. The play spoiler to reveal
G2 loses this
locations.
round.
To tuck back the paranoia to fly. Jogamo fully blinded up. Leaf, however, has his vision.
Yeah, if G2 loses that round, then they should just book the flight home.
Able to win out another round, getting up to 6, but 6 is how many more they will need if they want to push this into overtime, like they did at Master Santiago.
For sure, going all the way over to get the op. Gonna make sure that they have enough time to scoop that back up for Baby Bay, the only gun that was even dropped in this round. Okay, I mean, I think you can get a couple more here as G2. The ult cycle gonna be in your favor. You're getting close to another showstopper. You've already got a convergent pass. There's a chance here. You can set Nongshim back onto an eco, get a few more, and then get a reset and give yourself a hope at those next 4.
He's still fade seized. My bad, Baby Bay.
This time, Nongshim kind of getting lost in the sauce. A lot of big contact fights won. A good trade at least when Baby Bay went down by Valen, and they're able to hold the line and take Dombi down. Then this time you have the pit available. Oh my god.
They also have an overdrive and a very fast attempt at this hit from Nongshim, but they're going to be rerouted. Opting to not overstep here, but that overdrive will be expiring.
It's actually pretty painful for Nongshim. I think, again, a little bit too eager to use these powerful ults early in the rounds that don't really find enough value.
Pop out of smoke.
Continuing to try to sprint forward. The paranoia to try to hold them at bay, but no. Valen gonna be caught, but Jogamo and Leaf one apiece. Get them back into an advantageous position as Leaf finds a second, but Ivy will be able to take him down.
Oh, Jogamo almost.
It ends up being rough, but Ivy able to find him with that.
Oh, Ivy has the read. Ivy has the read.
This now into a 1v1.
Does he?
Drop down, the drift across, the spike is still the opposite side of the pillar.
So uncomfortable for
Oh,
Ivy.
he just made noise.
No idea. He has no idea where Baby Bay is. But he has the pit.
Sends this one immediately. Drifts out of
Oh, he missed the shot.
Saturate. The classic shots not connecting the tap of the plant.
Baby Bay has to pick up a gun.
Wrapping back through. Trying to commit for it.
Wow. Ivy's just playing too good.
Victory.
GG.
That was wild. I mean, I guess it's fitting in a way.
Baby feels like he's just trapped. He's in a situation where if he picks up a gun, Ivy knows where he is. He can play around. But in that scenario where you have an op, to win the round, I think you just take that risk and pick up a gun. I guess downside is timing peak. I just pick up a gun, but you try to pick up in a safe place.
Nongshim looking to be the guiding light for Pacific here at the event where the rest of the teams have been on struggle street. They once again managed to come out on top this time. They once again managed to come out on top this time in significantly cleaner fashion. With that split as a finisher, what a series from Ivy. MVP absolutely in my eyes. But everyone had their moments. The transfers from RB, from Domby.
Wow, what a game. Alright. It's been a good couple games. We'll continue on next couple days.